warns that aid work in Afghanistan could grind to a halt if the Taliban continues blocking women from taking part.
Martin Griffiths said he will return to Kabul later this month to see as many senior officials as possible. He didn't want to be drawn on what the UN would do if this ban is not lifted. But he pointed out that Taliban edicts are now being enforced differently across Afghanistan. So for now, they would do everything possible to work around them. So far, this new rule does not include Afghan women working at the UN itself. But sources express concern that the measure, which affects non-governmental aid agencies, could be extended.
The BBC's Lise Doucette. Israeli police arresting 2 teenagers who they say vandalized over 24 Christian graves in a historic Jerusalem cemetery earlier this week. Breaking news and analysis, townhall.com. Looks like somebody disturbed Kilauea's slumber. The Hawaiian volcano erupting again inside its summit crater.
The U.S. Geological Survey reports that the Big Island of Hawaii's most active volcano, Kilauea, is stirring again, less than 1 month after the crater and its larger neighbor, Mauna Loa, stopped releasing lava. Inside Hawaii Volcanoes National Park, scientists detected a glow in webcam images at Kilauea's summit, and footage gathered overnight shows a steaming, glowing lava lake in the caldera. Kilauea last erupted for 16 months, starting in September of 2021, and when Mauna Loa erupted for the first time in 38 years on November 27th, Hawaii had 2 volcanoes erupting side by side. I'm Jennifer King.
California has been on the receiving end of some wicked weather this week, courtesy of what is called an atmospheric river, bringing hurricane-force winds, thundering surf, and flooding rains to parts of California. More on these stories, townhall.com.
What in the wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am he. That would be me, Mike Winters. Happy Friday, everybody.
Say it again.
Happy Friday, everybody.
It's like a warm bath.
The first official weekend of 2023.
That's right, Mackie. The first full weekend, the first finally Friday of 2023.
Yeah.
We made it.
And
We did it.
It's supposed to be like 70 today.
Yeah, it's not that now. I really should have put my coat on before I came in here.
Yeah. Yes, it's supposed to warm up.
When Mike gets hot, the guest chair is right in the crossfire.
Well, in all fairness, our suite has been 15 degrees warmer than any other suite in this building.
It has
this
been.
week.
Now, I got to say, most of the day, it's been a little miserable.
Yeah.
This time of the morning, kind of nice.
Yeah. I'm not complaining right now, but yeah, here about 10 o'clock, it'll not be as pleasant there. So. Anyway, happy Friday.
Yep.
There's only one thing that can make this Friday any better.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
McDonald's Friday. Big thank you to the fine folks at McDonald's, as they do each and every Friday, provide us with delicious breakfast treats. Roy on the case again, got a bag full of savory breakfast favorites.
Bag full of awesome.
Yeah, and I've already sucked half my Coke Zero beverage down today.
He was thirsty.
Parched. I am parched today. My allergies are bugging me. I've been sniffling all morning and stinks, so I apologize. Thank you to McDonald's for sponsoring each and every week. And then I'd also like to thank Misty for my chocolate pie.
Dude, that thing is...
It looks tasty.
I will say this. And I know I appreciate the decorativeness of the box that it came in. That box is like impossible to close. I opened it yesterday to take a picture of the pie to send to you.
Yeah.
It took, and I'm not making this up, it took the efforts of 2 grown men to figure out how to close that box. Me and Roy sitting here like monkeys trying to figure out, okay, well, this flap has to go over here. So your best bet is to cut it up and put it in some Tupperware. Because you're never going to get that box closed again. Oh, hassle.
Well, it looks delicious. I can't wait to dig my meat hooks into it.
To a chocolate pecan pie. It's like brownie on top, pecan pie on the bottom.
Oh, okay.
A party all the way through.
That's why I was, because it does. I was like, it looks like a brownie on. It's like, is this like a brownie with pecans all? Oh, yeah.
It's like, and what's great is the chocolate from the brownie part actually merges with the corn syrup from the
the goo,
the innards from the pecan pie, so you get little chocolate pecan innards.
Nice.
It's nice.
Sounds like you've had a piece or 12.
I have definitely indulged a bit.
Well, I look forward to diving in.
A friendship with a great baker is half the reason my pants don't fit well anymore.
Not a lot of keto bacon going on.
The other half is a lack of self-control.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's really not much. I will say this. The last time I had something that was keto, like a baked good, it was Thanksgiving, and it was like, when I was doing the keto thing like 4 or 5 years ago. And I bought it was an apple pie is what it was, but it was made with, and you can only find them usually this time of year, chayote squash.
Okay.
You can find them at like Albertsons and stuff like that. They're a lot more expensive, but they're tiny and they kind of look like apples, but they're squash.
Okay.
But the meat inside mimics apple meat, essentially, like the fruit of an apple.
Okay.
So you can sweeten it with your apple pie ingredients, and it basically tastes just like an apple pie without all the carbs from the apples. I paid $35 for this pie.
Wow.
Yeah, but it was amazing.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah,
good.
It was fantastic.
Hard to believe that the bad for you part in an apple pie is the apple.
Is the apples, right? Well, there's other stuff too. Obviously,
Right.
The sugars that you use and all the other stuff to make the innards.
Yeah.
But the apples are pretty high in heavy in carbs.
There you go. Good thing I don't eat fruit.
I'm doing this for me.
That's right. For a healthier you, I don't eat fruit.
Doing this so I can be around longer.
Oh man! But thank you to Misty for. I appreciate. I will have my first slice tonight.
Nice.
Or two.
Or
I'll sit there in my underpants at the chair with the whole pie in my mouth.
See, that's how I picture eating it. Not like slice at a time,
Yeah.
but as one as one's in
Straight out the pan. Yeah.
with a fork.
With nothing but my sweet skivvies. But yeah, that's at about 10 o'clock tonight. That's the image I will be portraying to everybody.
If you want to go real gangster, you could always just go in with your hands and eat it like a hand fruit.
I could, but I
would
do have
recommend
some
that.
class.
Yeah.
Not a complete savage. All right, let me give you the rundown for the show. We probably need to get our interview going here because it's the one we're going to play is a little long. So, Crystal Noble from the Humane Society joined us on Wednesday. So in the 9 o'clock hour, gave us an update and talked a little bit about what they got going on. So we're going to play that for you here in just a bit. In the 8 o'clock hour, we don't have a guest scheduled, so we'll chit chat. A couple things. I saw a product a few minutes ago.
Okay.
It's probably a gimmick, but I'm curious.
All right.
So we'll talk about
We'll
it.
dive into that.
Yeah.
There's a tease.
Yeah, so that's one of many things we'll talk about. But that one, I just saw it and I'm like, on the surface, it seems like a cool novelty, but I don't think practicality makes this thing work. But we'll see.
Okay.
We'll debate.
All
We'll
right.
debate.
Sounds like a plan.
And then in the 9 o'clock hour, Barbara Gomez, Main Street Roswell, scheduled to join us first Friday of the month. Give us an update on what's happening through Main Street Roswell. I have not seen much on First Friday, so we'll get the skinny on that. Usually I see like a list of what's happening. I haven't seen that this week, so I do know. But
we'll find out.
We'll find out. So, plus we'll have all of your features that include the weather, the sports, the news, and all that good stuff, and whatever else we can come up with for today's show. Before we do anything else, let's go ahead and get you up to date on that weather. Gonna be warm eventually.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. High pressure over the Four Corners area and also over southern New Mexico, and that'll be keeping things fair for us over the weekend. Pretty warm today, upper 60s and low 70s, and a little bit gusty, wind occasionally kicking up to about 30 miles an hour, but we should have sunshine. A few clouds in mid-30s for the overnight hours, and then Saturday and Sunday, low to mid-60s and sunny. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 45 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 44%. Winds calm at the moment. They backed off just a smidge. 69 now instead of 72, whatever they were saying today's high was. 69 for a high today, but still pretty warm. East winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. Partly cloudy tonight. 35 for an overnight low with southwest winds at around 5 miles per hour. For your Saturday, we're looking at mostly sunny skies, 63 for a high, northeast winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tomorrow night, mostly clear with an overnight low of 27. Southwest winds at around 5 miles per hour. Sunny on Sunday with a high of 61 expected. Northwest winds 5 to 10. And looks like we'll be floating in the mid-60s for a good hunk of next week as well, too. So pretty nice temps for the first part of 2023. All right, it is 7:14. Let's take a quick 2-minute break, and then on the other side, we'll play our interview with Crystal Noble from the Roswell Humane Society. That's on the other side. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
As you begin this new year, you may have plans to get in better shape. That's a very good thing to do. I believe God wants us to take care of the body that He's given us to best serve Him. However, I think it's even more important to get our spiritual lives in good shape. That can be more challenging than physical exercise. Just like you need a plan to exercise, you need a plan to grow your spiritual life. Use a calendar or a journal, get a daily Bible reading plan, set an alarm on your phone, and take some time to read scripture and pray. Find a friend that'll partner with you so that you can keep each other accountable for not only daily Bible study, but for prayer as well. Just like you must discipline your physical body by building good habits, you must do the same thing with your spiritual body. At first, it may seem like you have to make yourself do these things, but believe me, once you get into that routine, you won't want to miss it, and you'll feel a true loss when you do. Give it a try. I promise it'll make a positive difference in your life.
Join us at the Country Club Road Church of Christ for worship at 10 a.m. on Sunday, located on the corner of Country Club and Washington in Roswell.
Jennifer here from Trustmark Roofing, and I know you've heard me say that you can trust Trustmark, but I want you to know what that looks like in real life. A few years ago, we installed a beautiful new roof for an older woman who was recently widowed. She was an artist and colors were really important to her. So when she said she didn't like the color of a brand new roof, we took that seriously. She had picked the color and signed off on it, but I just kept thinking, if she's going to walk into her house every day and be disappointed, then we're just going to redo it. So we did. We ripped that beautiful new roof off and replaced it with a slightly different color, and she was thrilled. Yes, it cost us quite a bit of money to make her happy, but I want you to know you can trust Trustmark to make it exactly right every time. If you have any roofing needs, call us at 575-755-ROOF or find us online at trustmarkroofpros.com.
Trustmark Roofing, we put people first.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. The first toilet being flushed in a motion picture was in the movie Psycho. Mike thought it was Gone with the Wind. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It was 19 minutes after 9 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning from the Roswell Humane Society, Crystal Noble back with us. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you today?
I am good.
Good deal. Yeah.
Wish it would be actual winter weather out there and not spring.
Yeah, it's going to confuse the trees. We keep this up, and next week we're going to start seeing leaves start showing up on trees again.
Yeah, we're going to be in the 70s at the end of the week, and then high 60s weekend.
Yeah,
they're going to be like, oh, it's blooming season.
I know. Talk with her husband at Roswell Seeding if you're wondering how to combat whatever's going on now with the weather.
Just go ask for John.
Yeah.
He'll be like, just wait
They can tell you the right stuff to take care of all this. So.
Right.
But, of course, if you're not familiar, Crystal joins us every couple weeks to give us an update on what's available for adoption at the Humane Society, and then, of course, talk about any specials, deals going on with the thrift store, and just, reminding folks. I know over the holidays we shared one of your videos that someone had abandoned some dogs by just leaving in a box. Yes. And unfortunately, it was right at that time when it was that Arctic freeze, like the day before Christmas or before. It was right at a couple days before Christmas where it was
it was the coldest time of the year.
Yeah, and somebody left him out there. And some people are like, yeah, it's better than the person could have done worse things. We are in agreement there. However,
it's not hard to knock on the door.
Yeah.
And it's not hard to come in and say, I need help.
And when the temperature's that cold and you don't know, it could be the next day before someone finds that box of dogs. You just don't know. Depending on when they're left there and everything else, that's more than enough time to freeze those animals to death. And
then setting a 50-pound bag of dog food on top of the boxes, if that box would not have held up with that food, that 50 pounds
could have crushed them.
Crushed them.
Yeah.
They're not big puppies.
So, yes, that person could have done worse things, but that was not the proper way to handle that.
No, and his intentions were ill because he removed his license plate.
Oh, okay. So he was being nefarious and he knew it.
Mm-hmm.
And
but luckily,
I was reading the comments. A lot of people were kind of like, "Well, at least he didn't, leave him in a ditch somewhere." And I'm like, "Well, so he's not as bad as one would think, but he's still pretty bad, But anyway, my point is, if you cannot take care of these pets, go through business hours. That Humane Society will be happy to take them off your hands.
Call us.
But
Talk
do
to
it
us.
properly.
Tell
them
what's going on,
Yes.
so that way we can make arrangements to help you.
That way,
there's a lot of people out there that are struggling right now, and unfortunately, our shelter's only so big.
Yeah.
And if people aren't adopting animals, they're dumping them. That's more animals coming in than going out.
Yeah. Now, just curious, these weren't pets that you've seen before, right? These were...
No, they were a litter of puppies.
Okay. So someone had a litter, and then he didn't know what to do with them, and they ended up at your house.
Right.
Or you're at the Humane Society.
My house. Pretty much. But with some of the public's help, we were able to locate the gentleman.
Oh, good.
And he didn't even live in Roswell. He drove all the way from Dexter to come down here and dump the dogs.
Oh, wow. So hopefully that's been addressed and taken care of. And good news. Are the puppies okay? That's the important
thing. They were
thing.
put up for adoption right before Christmas because Animal Control actually found them
outside. They were on the short list there, I'm guessing.
So they Animal Control, he did it. We were there, but we weren't open to the public yet. And an Animal Control officer saw the boxes with the dog food on them, came over, checked, saw the puppies, and took them in next door.
Okay. So.
And then we pulled surveillance and all of that.
Good deal. So did y'all take ownership, or did they stay at the?
No, they stayed at Animal Control, just because we were trying to get the gentleman prosecuted.
Gotcha.
And if they would have stayed at our facility, because we're a private nonprofit, we don't have the authorization to go out and prosecute somebody.
Understood.
So Animal Control had to keep ownership of them.
Okay.
But I do believe that all of them were either pulled by rescue or adopted.
Okay, good. So they're either found a home or in the process of finding.
Yes.
Now, were they able to charge this person, or did that just go with warnings and?
We're still working on that.
Okay. Because I'm thinking, does the fact that he's not a city resident, does that pose any
They have
legalities
to
or anything?
mail him a junction, but because of where he lives, there's no mailbox out there, so we have to locate a mailing address for him.
I gotcha. Okay. Well, I'm assuming he has a P.O. box somewhere if there's no mailboxes there at the property. So.
Yeah, he lives far enough out to where, you have a P.O. box.
Gotcha. Well, the point is, don't do that. Don't call.
No.
It's too easy to get rid of, or for you to surrender those puppies without risking harm to the puppies, or and to be honest, embarrassing. I know a lot of people imagine they're embarrassed that they can't do it, and don't be embarrassed about that. They much rather you come in and say, "Look,
and if it was
we had an accident, we had a mistake. I need help here."
And we would have offered to help you get your dog spayed, so you wouldn't end up with another accidental litter.
Humane Society is very compassionate people. They want what's best for those animals, and if you're trying to do that, even though it's not the most ideal thing, they're going to work with you on that. That's, if you come knocking on the door with a box of puppies and saying, I can't take care of these, help me, they're going to be much more receptive and helpful to help you than you just leaving a box of puppies with a thing of dog food on the front and turning your back on it.
And it happens so regularly. 2 days prior to that, we had a puppy dumped in a crate.
And how often do you find out too late? I mean, that's got to be, every once in a while, that does got to happen.
It does happen lately. It's not been like it used to be because we have our surveillance cameras.
Yeah.
And so I can monitor them from my phone.
So you guys are kind of...
so can one of the president. She can look at them too.
So when someone shows up there, you kind of get a notification. And you can check it out whether it's a bird going through or something nefarious.
We've had people throw dogs over the fence where the outside is metal, but the inside is chain link. And their legs get caught in that chain link and it breaks their legs.
Oh, jeez.
And they're there overnight because we didn't have surveillance cameras at that time. Or they just throw them over not caring, and then when they land 7 feet down, they've broken a bone too.
It's sad. So please, and if you know people doing this, report them. Because
yes, call the city of Roswell, call Animal Services.
There's no need for any of that.
No.
Just not at all.
There are 2 shelters. There's rescue groups. There is a way to get help.
Yep.
You just have to ask for it instead of trying to just take care of it by that means.
Ballpark. Do you guys guesstimate on how old you think those puppies were?
They were about 6-7 weeks old.
Okay, so they were old enough to be adopted. So they've had them for a while. It wasn't like they just showed up on their doorstep 2 days ago.
He has the mama dog.
Okay.
As soon as mama stopped feeding him, he dumped him.
Ah, that's it. That was the switch when the mama stopped feeding them when they get to that point. Okay, makes sense. All right, now I follow. I was just trying to...
Yeah. And then this past Friday, somebody set the thrift store drop box on fire again. And this time, it provided a lot of damage.
What happened now?
Somebody pulled up, had a paper bag with something lit in it, stuck their head inside the drop box, lit it on fire, and took off.
That's terrorism. That's just arson and terrorism. That's what that is.
So PD has a bolo out for the gentleman. They don't want us sharing his photo and video on Facebook just yet.
Okay.
But we have his license plate. We have a picture of his face. We have video of him starting the fire and leaving the scene.
Well, I hope they catch this person, and I hope they get the maximum penalty because that's just terrorism. That's all that is. That's if you're throwing flaming anything into a that's arson, and that's what terrorists do. That's to me domestic terrorism.
It's uncalled for.
Yep.
One, if somebody did something to make you mad at the thrift store, at the kennels, that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Call down and make a complaint.
Yep.
But don't endanger the animals because if that fire wouldn't have been caught, the animals could have been injured. It could have been a total loss.
Yep. And clearly this is someone with some serious mental health problems. Doesn't matter. Throw the book at them because if you're of sound mind enough to think this was a good idea, then you're a sound mind that's sitting in a prison for a little bit, the way I see it.
You burn us, let us burn you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Eye for an eye.
I feel that passion, but we do have laws, and we gotta respect them. But that being said, I feel your pain on that because I don't understand why people, especially for a place at the end of the day, all they're doing is trying to help pets, help animals find homes, and making that connection between loving families and pets. That's all they're trying to do, and everything that they do is for that. Because you don't qualify for whatever reason, or because I'm sure there's a myriad of reasons why people think these are good ideas to do these dumb things. Just because you think that, it doesn't make it, amnesty free here. You're going to get caught and you should be punished. And I don't care how rough your life is. If you're trying to blow up people's buildings, bye-bye. We're done with you.
Yeah,
put you away.
That's like somebody going to a homeless shelter and trying to set it on fire because they're helping the homeless.
I'm all for second chances, but some things you don't get the second chance from, and that's one of them.
No.
Is when you're doing things like that. When you're terrorizing.
It was intentional. It's not like he was looking in to steal something and a cigarette dropped.
Yeah.
No. He had something in a paper bag that he lit on fire and put inside the bin. So it was a bottle of alcohol or something.
Yeah, in essence, a Molotov
He went
cocktail.
there with intentions to start a fire. He didn't just pull up and say, let's start a fire. No, It was premeditated. He had it thought out.
Well, I hope they catch this person and they get the full maximum sentence that we're allowed to do to them because they deserve it, so, as far as I'm concerned.
I agree.
Anyway.
With that being said, so because of the damages from the fire, we are looking for donations to help repair the damages. Luckily, the fire department got it put out in enough time where it's not too much damage.
What kind of damage is done that you need to fix?
So we have the drop bin and then the storage unit right next to it. The entire front part of the drop bin on the inside is plywood. The outside is metal. So all the plywood is burnt.
Okay.
So
we
we
really
need
need replacement plywood.
Plywood for reinforcements. Just
nail
little
screws and things
of that nature. If you got extra lying around, we'd be glad to.
And I would
use
do one better. If there's some handy people out there that would maybe like to donate some time and effort and say, hey, I heard what happened. I'm free next week. Can I spend the afternoon and do some carpentry work and clean that up for you? If there's a kind-hearted soul that has time and ability to do that, we would greatly appreciate that.
That would be a blessing.
Yeah. Like I said, we can't really afford to pay in anything because, the money's kind of being used to take care of pets right now. But we would greatly appreciate if there's some kind, generous pet lovers out there that would love to fix that bin and do they
help us.
Fortunately, you're able to keep the thrift store open and everything. It's not burnt
like
to a
it didn't
point.
get into the thrift store.
Good.
It just was the donation bin area and then the storage bin next to it where we store like the extra books that are donated and
Which
Christmas.
I imagine whatever was in there is gone.
All of that was a total loss.
Yeah.
They had to completely take everything out because it was either smoke damage, water damage,
Yeah,
fire
about to
damage.
say, the clothing, anything that was in there probably picks up that smoke smell, and that's all ruined too. Yeah, you're right. Matter of fact, you're lucky the whole thing doesn't smell like smoke.
It took about 4 days of airing the building out and running air conditioners and cooler months.
Oh, good.
To
You got off lucky. I've seen it where they've had to remodel and redo things just to get that smell out, depending on how bad
the
smoke
drop bin
damage.
still smells like smoke some, but not as bad as it did the inside of the thrift store.
And ultimately, we'll end up just replacing that bin anyway, is the goal. So.
Eventually, yes, we would like to have a different bin. We just have a lot of unintelligent people in this world, so it limits us from what we can put out because we can be sued if somebody gets stuck inside the drop box. So we have to make it accessible for them to climb in and out because if they get stuck in there, we're liable for them.
What if you make it so they can't climb in it to begin with?
We've tried that, and they put their kids in there, and then their kids got stuck, and then the fire department got called.
This is what's called thinning the herd. Rather than they get to sue for this crap, we just leave them there and let life sort itself out. That's the way I think.
Divine intervention. But
let's talk adoptions. Let's talk happy stuff here.
There are a lot of stuff that did not get damaged at the thrift store.
Okay.
So they do have a lot of antique books still.
Okay.
Vintage books, and then just regular books. Your fictional, non-fictional romance.
Does all the Christmas decor get put away at this point, or can you buy some cheap stuff to store at this point?
They sold everything Christmas.
Good. So it's all gone.
It's all
even
gone.
better.
They have Valentine's Day stuff out now for people who like to decorate for Valentine's Day, and then
That's the
cute
next
little
holiday here.
It is the cute little
Pez dispenser.
No, the little push buttons that say "Be Mine."
Oh
and all that
yeah.
stuff.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
They've got a bunch of those. They're already starting to pull that stuff out. If you are looking for purses, people who received new purses for Christmas donated their old purses.
So there's a bunch of purses.
There's a lot of purses.
Nice.
If you need throw pillows, couch pillows, they are completely stocked. They have about 2 on the clothing racks. They have them on the top. They've got 2 big clothing racks full of pillows.
Oh, wow.
Couch pillows.
And you know
pillows.
you spend a ton of money on those things that end up just getting moved around everything. Go buy them at the thrift store, pay 1/10 of the price of what they cost.
And I will tell you that they do sort them. If they're dirty or stained or torn, they don't put them out for sale.
These are perfectly good, clean, and probably in some cases maybe brand new, but you know how people get, this doesn't go with the decor like I thought it was, and they end up getting something else. And
I am that person. However, I am that person that also shops at the thrift store too. Anybody who likes to do gift baskets, like to be creative and make baskets for like holidays and stuff. They have a ton of baskets.
Nice.
Ranging from little ones to great big ones that you make like the fruit baskets.
Okay.
And all
Or
of that stuff.
do like a wine gift basket, cheese and meat sampler deal or something. Yeah.
They got a lot of wicker baskets, and I think the wicker baskets are like $2 a piece for ones.
Oh, wow.
And like help making. So if you're one of those creative people like craft for expensive, we got you stocked.
Or one more, if because now we'll be getting in the new year here, and we'll start seeing a lot of organizations do fundraisers and things. A lot of times they'll do silent auctions and things, and people donate items. Well, if you want to make your own little gift baskets for silent auctions and things, you can stock up on those baskets at the thrift store, and then when you're ready to put one of those together, you've got a bunch of baskets ready to go.
Can.
You know, you spent $10 and got a whole slurry of them.
So I'm laughing because, you know, Friday is going to be 72. Well, they've had a plethora of fans donated. You know, the oscillating fans.
Oh, yeah.
So they've got 7 things, ranging from the little ones that sit on the counter to the big ones that have their own stand. So one of the 100 people that don't like anything above 40 degrees, we got fans. They've got brand new shoes that they put out. They went through over the Christmas holiday, after the Christmas holiday, and everything that was old, they pulled out and they restocked with everything new. Shoes, clothes, everything.
Nice. So come check out the new.
It is completely new today.
Well, today's also Wednesday, which is new stuff day. So
yeah, it is.
And I imagine with everything that went on and stuff, it's been a busy week for the thrift store. So they probably got some stuff that they're ready to display and ready to
and they've
turn
got a
into
lot
money
of
for the
just
for the animal.
miscellaneous knick-knack household things. Just a lot of different things. Everybody was generous after Christmas this year in donating.
Yeah. I'm glad because I imagine a lot of people got new stuff and they have old stuff that's perfectly good. They just don't have space for said old stuff.
I haven't gone through my old stuff yet to take to the thrift store, but it will go there because I got a really nice knife set for Christmas that is like the forged and fired knife set.
Yeah, okay.
So every time I cut with it, I go, "It will kill." My husband laughs because he's the one that bought them for me.
Nice.
So I was cutting up sausage and I was like, "It will kill." And he just looks at me and I was like, "What? I like my knives." But they are super sharp.
Well, and that's the thing is if you maintain them and keep them sharp, and they'll last forever.
And they came with their own sharpener, all kinds of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably a pretty good knife set. That's you can go to the big box store, and I've done it, and I've probably you spend $30 or whatever, or $40 on one of those knife sets, and they're fine for starting out and doing all that. But if you want something that's kind of generational, you want to invest in one of those.
So I've learned something. Being the person who bought the big box set, I spent like $150 on a knife set that was supposed to be anti-rust,
like a high-end one,
high-end one, like no rust, no dulling. It come with a sharpener. They didn't even last a year, and they were starting to rust, even washing, drying, and putting them up.
Wow.
So stainless steel is a good brand, but if you're looking for, quality, look for Damascus style.
Okay.
Because that
holds up better.
Thicker blade, and it holds up better.
Gotcha. Those are probably built by people that do things with knives outside the kitchen. You know what I'm saying?
Those are the blacksmiths that, beat the crap out of that knife to make it look all...
Sure, forge them.
Yeah.
Whereas I'm wondering if, and maybe I'm wrong, I wonder, like, when you make those knives that you see at the big box stores, and, like, I'm sure there's no guy forging those.
No, those
there's
are factory made.
Some kind of factory assembly line that, melts it down into this and shapes it and glues the handle together and all that other mess.
Those are factory made.
Yeah. So, but anyway.
But we're still hiring at the kennels.
Looking for basically someone to come and take care of the animals, clean the cages, and being an attendant for the animals, taking care of their needs, taking them on walks when you can, and being a kind of a mommy or a daddy for the pets, and
it's basically you're coming to be daycare.
Yeah,
take care of them if they need medicine, give them medicine, clean up after them, feed them, love them, brush them, walk them.
So if you love doing that,
it's
get paid for it.
Yeah, and
a lot of people love
starting as of the first of this year, minimum wage has gone up to now $12.50, I believe.
Okay.
So
this is a 40-hour week job.
It is a 40-hour week job.
So it's a full-time job.
We do offer you get sick time. After you've been employed for a year, you start earning vacation time.
Oh, nice.
Nonprofits aren't able to offer a lot, but we do have some little quirks that we're able to offer for employees.
Sure.
To help, don't leave us and go to this $25 an hour paying job.
Sure.
Because, we're a small business. And
well, let's face it, too. Yes, you have a lot of work. You're cleaning up vomit and puke and things at times.
And there's sometimes other things that come out of there that you're like, what is that?
But at the end of the day, it's a pretty fun job. I mean, it's like if you're in a bad mood, sitting there and hanging out with the dogs for an hour, I imagine turns that around, especially when you've been there a while and the dogs know you and they know you, and you know their idiosyncrasies and things and their personalities and what, and it turns into, it's just like you having your own pet, it's like my cat. When I get home, I know that cat. I know her tendencies. I know, and she knows mine. And she's a creature of, and the more I spend around her, the more like these days where I'm off and I was like home all day, I realize how much that cat follows, there's like the cat has its own normal routine when I'm not there. But when I'm there, like even when the cat's not in my lap, whatever, the cat's laying near me. Like next thing you know, I feel a head on my foot as a pillow. That it's just that, and that's kind of what you establish with these animals.
And when when you have an animal that comes in that is like terrified of people,
mm-hmm.
and you get to be a part of that animal's recovery to mm-hmm. be happy and know that people aren't going to hurt them, and just bloom into a wonderful pet.
Mm-hmm.
That gives you a feeling that you can't get at retail. Yes, helping an older person,
sure.
With their groceries and whatnot. Yeah, that's a good feeling too.
At days when you go home at night, there's days when a dog or a cat that was sick is now feeling better and stuff. It's a real sense of like I had a good day.
It is.
Like, something done.
When you have animals that you have to work hard to build their trust,
mm-hmm.
Animals don't trust easy. They are very judgmental. And when you can earn that trust, that's something that not everybody can say.
Sure.
This is what I do for a living. I help these shy animals become not shy and socialized and find them a home of somebody that's going to love them.
I think young people that maybe have goals or aspirations to become a veterinary,
they need to be in a shelter first.
Yeah, spend some time learning how to interact with them, because your bedside manner as a vet is going to be the difference between success and failure in diagnosing a lot of pets. You know what I mean? Because those quirks and things, yeah, sure, you run tests and all that, but the demeanor that you have with pets, because just face it, like the kennel, the vet is generally a place where you see pets at their worst. They're either sick or not happy with being in an environment they're not familiar with. I mean, and so a lot of the same bedside manner treatments that you do in the shelter will also apply in the doctor's office.
And it helps you see animals in a different light,
mm-hmm.
Because you've got people that are bringing their personal animals in that they know the people here with us, they don't know us.
Mm-hmm.
So they're not familiar in the area at all.
Sure. They may not be pleased by your smell, and it gives them an attitude for it. And you're like, I didn't do a dang thing.
Perfume.
Yeah, that's just it. They get a vibe off you, and regardless of your intentions, you're going to have to work harder to win that one over approval. And to learn that young, and I imagine I've never been to veterinary school, but I would imagine that's kind of stuff they can't teach in school. They teach you what connects to what and how to fix this, but how to be a person that a dog loves, that's not really a taught. That comes with experience.
And it does. And what's even funnier is, cats and dogs, dogs are less likely to be as judgmental as cats. But cats, they're judging you from the second they can see you.
Mm-hmm.
Before you see them, they're already judging you.
Yeah.
And cats typically are not anything like themselves in a shelter. They're complete opposite when they get into a home environment and they feel comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
And when you see them in a shelter, they're at their worst. They are basically at the bottom, rock bottom,
Mm-hmm.
and are just trying to climb up and move forward.
Basically, if you've got a cat laying on her back spread out on the floor in your home, you've got a good environment for that cat.
Yeah.
That's the biggest indicator because that cat feels comfortable and safe. They're not showing their belly to people that they think are adversarial.
No.
And so that's just one of those little indicators, like the cat's happy and the cat feels comfortable and safe because it's just sitting here spread out, airing out for the whole world to see.
Look at my business.
Yeah. But that's an indicator.
And we do have, our cats are back available for adoption at the kennels. We do not have any more respiratory issues.
All that's cleared up.
So we're cleared up.
Good.
We are currently working on our website, so there might be little glitches here and there. We got a new logo.
That's right. Yeah, the new UFO themed logo.
So we're trying to get the colors to match the logo on the website, so that way it's all symmetrical and it looks nice and neat. However, it's not as quick and easy as people think it is just to go click and change colors because you have to do it on every individual person, dog, cat, everything.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So I can't just do
So it's
Control A.
time-consuming. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that doesn't
Are you
work.
doing all this?
Me and Felicia.
Okay. Do you guys have like programming experience?
I'm the one that made our website.
Okay, so you guys, cool.
I did go to college, people.
I didn't know for computer stuff. I didn't.
Nope.
Interesting.
It was a trial and error and a whole bunch of Googling and, hey, do you know how to do this? And can you help me with this? But
well, if any IT guys are listening and want to share some knowledge with her that she's may not picked up to maybe make some of these things she's talking about easier, because I feel like there might be a quick way to fix that that a computer person may know.
It's not so much that there's not a quick way to fix it.
Yeah.
It's the web user that we go through is GoDaddy.
Okay.
And so you have your packages.
So it's their rules and what
so we have the lower package, so we're not paying like
I got you.
$1,000
So if you want
a
more,
year.
you want to pay more, they'll give you the Cadillac amenities on it.
Yeah.
I got you.
So this is the Po' Boys website.
Can you get some dirt on Danica Patrick and use that as maybe to barter for some more amenities?
I can tell you things you don't know.
That's right. Yeah. Upgrade our account, or these photos are getting leaked.
Right. But we do have the cats back available.
Good.
There is one that's still not available just yet, but it's not that she's sick. She's just had some inflammation, so they wanted to make sure that the inflammation went down beforehand.
A couple more, just making sure there's nothing flares back up.
Right.
Or anything regresses.
So we still have Sunflower. September made 1 year.
All right.
So she's going on almost 18 months in the kennel.
Yeah, that's way too long. That's about 12 months too long. That's actually about 16 months too long.
Yeah,
but,
there's nothing wrong with her. She is reactive if another dog starts. She doesn't go up intentionally starting anything, but when you correct her, she stops. So she needs a family, that will work with her. We had Jimmy Preston from J-Paws come and work with her some too, just to see. And he walked her with his dogs, and she was perfectly fine.
So it's some animals that she gets along with. Okay,
it's as long as she has high energy, and she needs another dog that can accept that energy.
Okay.
Because if they can't and they start growling, that's when she reacts.
So you need I'm thinking a younger
And she's
lab.
young. She's
But like if you have a dog that's like a lab or a collie, one of those family dogs that are very tolerant of children, that are pretty high energy, that sounds like if you pair her with a dog like that, she might thrive.
And
they might be best buddies.
She's not very big. She's probably 50 pounds on the high end.
Okay.
But she's all muscle. She's short.
Okay.
I think she's like lab boxer or maybe pit boxer.
And
there's
any
a lot of that.
dog that you work with, when you start training and interacting, a lot of that energy goes away. And what I mean by not goes away, but it gets satiated. So it doesn't,
Right.
It doesn't use that energy to tear up things or do acting out in angst because it's bored or
And
so
she
crazy.
loves to go on walks.
Mhm.
Like, she loves them. We have a couple of volunteers that come throughout the week, and she's one of the ones that gets walked because she's higher energy and she's been there so long. But the second she sees the harness, she's like, yep, I'm ready. And she sits, and she knows sit, she knows down, she knows
How old
stay.
is she, roughly?
She's going on 2 years old.
So she's still
She was a
young
pup
dog.
when she came to us.
Okay.
So she's grown up in our kennel.
So she doesn't know anything different for the most part. It's
No.
Really, okay. Well, come take a look at this dog. Find a home, and if maybe and maybe this might be one to adopt with another dog. This might be if you have room for two. Maybe we can pair her up with one of her buddies there, and
and we will do any meet and greet,
Yeah.
to make sure that they do good prior to. But she's not a bad dog. She's not your typical, big block-headed, poofy body. She's sweet. She loves people. She loves affection. She sees a kid and she melts. She loves kids.
Well, maybe a family with a couple kids and are willing those kids to run around and take her out to the park and do
just
stuff.
a single dog home.
Yeah.
That's always a very hard home to find because a lot of people want multiple dogs.
Well, if you catch the young couple first starting out and they're getting their first dog or something, that would be, with her. But come check it. Well, you can go online. I just saw time. We probably need to hurry up
shoot,
here.
yeah.
But
there's a dozen of pictures of Sunflower on there because every
Yeah.
time she goes out to the park for walks, they take pictures. We upload them on our Facebook page.
wasn't
and then-
she one of the photo sessions that y'all did like about a year ago with, remember that? Like the Christmas, she was one of those.
Yeah,
wasn't
and
she?
then she was actually recently they did do another one of her. We did Polly. We did Polly in the Santa Claus hat. That was hard. So anybody who says, "Oh, taking these, designer pictures," no, it's not easy because the dogs don't want to sit still. They don't want to cooperate. When you're trying to snap the picture and then you squeak the toy for them to look at you, they don't stay sitting and look at you. They get up and walk
Right.
to you.
They're like, ooh, I'll
so
take that.
it's a moving target that you're trying to take pictures of. So
Trying to catch lightning in a bottle, basically.
it is, and it's funny because there's sometimes you just get that one perfect photo and you're like, wow, how did I do that? I'm gonna try that again, and it doesn't work on the next shot. It doesn't work on this shot, but these are the photos. So when Polly came to us, Polly looked like that.
Okay.
And then she got a lot chunkier, and then that's me actually having to hold her because every time you squeak the toy, she would take off to the toy. So
Oh, she looks like a barrel of fun.
these few photos took us 45 minutes.
That's funny. That's a great one, the one at the end. That's my favorite one.
So, and we have...
That dog looks adorable, by the way. I
She
can't
is.
imagine. I feel like that dog would be like some single dude's companion. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. You get the guy who likes to go camping and do all that, and has his dog with him at his side everywhere he goes.
There's Sunflower.
That dog could be easily one of those for somebody.
She's sweet.
Yes. Yep. That dog looks like it would. And to be honest, that's the type of dog that once you've earned its trust, will probably die for you. You know what I'm saying?
She's wonderful.
Yep, that
she's
dog-
sweet. She's beautiful. She's
Yeah.
happy. I can't say enough good things about Sunflower because there's not enough words to say. I don't understand why she's been with us for so long.
Yeah, it's just one of these things. It's like, how does this one slip through the cracks? So, if someone's looking for a good family dog, that, quite frankly, yeah, it's a dog with some energy, and you're going to have to, address that.
She does like to play
she's
ball.
a loyal, loving dog. Come see Sunflower. She's institutionalized. She's been there 18 months, and so you're probably going to have to broaden her world, and she might be a little apprehensive when she gets in your environment. But once you get her comfortable and work with her and love on her and train her and all that,
she adapts.
you're going to have the best
so
friend in the
easy.
world.
And for her to not be going crazy after 18 months,
Yeah, I could just tell she's one of those, just by looking and seeing her face and everything, she's one of those dogs that once you bond with her, she's going to go to the nth degree. It's going to be the, Lassie, Rin Tin Tin, that dog that just is part of the family. And Yeah, it's a shame that it's been 2 years since that dog's, or almost 2 years, since that dog's, called that shelter home. So let's find a home for Sunflower. Hopefully next time we see you, somebody adopts this dog.
Yes, please.
Yeah. We got about 2 minutes if you can squeeze whatever else we got to get in there.
Well, we still have Xena. We have Jax. We have Polly, the one I showed you in the Santa Claus hat. We have Jose. Those are the majority of our long timers that have been there over 6 months.
So all of these need a home. Every single one does, even the ones that have been there a week. But the longer they're
long termers, and
the longer they're there, the worse off it is for the pet.
It is.
I don't care.
And
they treat them very well. But it's not an environment for family dogs and cats. It's just not. It's a place to store them till we find them. Those places.
We can do our best, but at the end of the day, being inside a home with a loving family is what's best for them.
Absolutely.
They're not running the streets. They're not out in the elements. They're getting meals regularly. If they're sick, they're getting taken care of, but it's not a home.
Providing so much enrichment for you and your family. Some of the coolest memories, even with my wife and I, in our memories, a lot of them involve some dumb things with the cats, it's just that
they do.
Yeah, it's just how it is. And it's funny. Matter of fact, I gotta get to. I just haven't had the gumption to do it yet. I got to clean up my Hannah a little bit. She was being ornery with the Laxatone, so I did the nose, but I missed and got her like up here. That stuff is stuck up in there, and she got most of it, but there's this little ding in there, and I can't get her still enough to get it off of her because as soon as I start messing with it, she gets mad. But
just have her sister lick it off.
I know, but she won't be that patient either. But yeah, it was kind of. At one point, it was a strand that hung out. She looked like a unicorn around. I tried to get it. She wouldn't let me.
She's like, nope, you screwed up.
Yeah, but maybe today. Very good. RoswellHumane.org is the website. Go there 24/7. Like you said, it is a little bit under construction, so if it gets a little cattywampus, be patient. But all the pets that are available for adoption and call the shelter home right now are there. If you see not available next to them, it's because of quarantine, because they're trying to make weight or waiting on some shots or something like that. Thrift store, which is now open here in about 3 minutes. Will be open, and today's the new stuff day, so every Wednesday at 10 a.m. If you want to get in first dibs on the newly added stuff to the thrift store, today's that day to do that. Every Wednesday, 10 a.m. Be warned, you're not the only one. There's going to be people
No,
waiting.
There's already a line outside. I can pull up the camera and show you.
Yeah.
They're way outside.
And then, real quick, give out the shelter hours and the
shelter hours are 10 to 12 and then 1 to 4:30, and that's Tuesday through Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
And then the thrift store is 10 to 4:30 Wednesday through Saturday.
Awesome. Perfect. Well, thank you, ma'am. Appreciate
Thank you very much.
And hopefully we'll find a home for our long residing friends there. So,
yes.
Good deal. All right, quick news and break before we go.
Now your Lopez, who retired at the end of 22. Carlsbad also has a new administrative assistant in the mayor's office in Wanda Aguilar, who replaces Cheyenne Mathola. Aguilar has previously been the assistant director of the Riverwalk Recreation Center. A Border Patrol agent wearing body armor was struck by gunfire but avoided serious injury Thursday while confronting the occupants of a vehicle suspected of migrant smuggling in New Mexico. 6 people were taken into custody after the vehicle later crashed, according to U.S. Customs and Border Protection. The agency added that the agent was shot in the chest multiple times and was released after a medical exam. You're up to date. I'm Jared Sorello.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. High pressure over the Four Corners area and also over southern New Mexico, and that'll be keeping things fair for us over the weekend. Pretty warm today, upper 60s and low 70s, and a little bit gusty, wind occasionally kicking up to about 30 miles an hour, but we should have sunshine. A few clouds in mid-30s for the overnight hours, and then Saturday and Sunday, low to mid-60s and sunny. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
It's time for the Chavez County Sports Report. The Goddard boys in action at the North-South Shootout. It's a new tournament. It's a round-robin tournament, so Goddard knows who they're going to play over the next couple of days. Goddard wins yesterday against Belen, 47-29. All these games are at Artesia High School, by the way. The Rockets back in action tonight against Los Alamos. This afternoon at 5:30, the Goddard girls win against Milwaukee Valley yesterday, 41-26. The Lady Rockets are 9-5 and will play at Chaparral tomorrow afternoon. Roswell's girls, after losing to Mayfield Wednesday night, 35-28, will take on Las Cruces on the road tonight at 7 o'clock. Las Cruces is 9-3. Meanwhile, the Roswell boys, winners of 4 in a row, will be at home to take on Mayfield. That's a game that starts at 6:30 this evening. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell Talk FM 106.5.
I'm amazed at just how different our store looks from a year ago. Hi, this is Melanie from Glenn's Furniture. It's been a long time coming, but our showrooms are absolutely filled with beautiful new items. Gorgeous power reclining furniture for your living room, cozy bedroom suites and mattresses, and stylish new dining room tables and dinettes. I'll bet we have exactly what you're looking for. So hurry to Glenn's Furniture at the corner of Union and Alameda, where delivery is free since 1953.
So you think drinking alcohol can't hurt you? It'll mess you up big time. Say adios to large chunks of your brain. Major damage is already being done. Other parts of your body are getting wrecked too. Forget about sports, forget about school, forget about doing much of anything. Underage drinking freaks out your body, messes up your life.
Sponsored by the NMDOT.
Hugh Hewitt is now in Roswell on 106.5 FM KEND Roswell.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. The U.S. job market ended 2022 on a strong note, outperforming economists' expectations.
The Labor Department says America's employers added 223,000 jobs in December, while the unemployment rate dipped by 0.2% to 3.5%. Last month's job growth capped a second straight year of strong hiring, during which the nation regained all 22 million jobs it lost to the COVID-19 pandemic. Yet the rapid hiring and hefty pay raises that accompanied it likely contribute to a spike in prices that lifted inflation to its highest level in 40 years.
Correspondent Jeremy House. After reconvening today at noon, lawmakers on Capitol Hill will take a 12th vote on Republican Kevin McCarthy for Speaker of the House.
A deal appears to be in sight that could give Kevin McCarthy the Speaker's gavel. Leader McCarthy and many of the GOP members who oppose his speakership may have come to a tentative deal that meets the demands made by the House Freedom Caucus. If, quote, basically all of the demands are met, it could give him the 218 votes he needs to become Speaker. Under the deal, McCarthy's agreed to give Freedom Caucus members a stronger presence on key committees. It would also impose new controls on spending and allow a single member to make a motion to vacate the speakership. The House reconvenes at noon on Friday for a possible 12th vote. Bernie Bennett, Capitol Hill.
After finally announcing plans to visit the southern border, President Biden is blaming Republicans for the crisis. The surge of illegal immigrants and drugs had exploded under his watch. Among other things, Mr. Biden halted construction of the border wall as one of his very first orders of business upon taking office. Investigators say surveillance footage, DNA evidence, and cell phone tracking led them to Brian Kohlberger, a 28-year-old charged with murder in the deaths of 4 University of Idaho students. Wall Street, the Dow up 222 points. Townhall.com.
I'm Lance Wallnau, Christian author and evangelical leader, here to remind you that God's gifts should never be taken for granted. Take, for example, your retirement savings. You've worked hard for your money, and God has rewarded you for that. Now, with record inflation eating away at the value of the U.S. dollar, those rewards are literally being taken from you. But there is a way the faithful can fight back. By diversifying your...
Here's an important message from the Diabetes Solution Center. Do you like pricking your fingers to test your blood sugar levels? No one does, but it's important to maintain your health. And now, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you don't need to prick your fingers anymore. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now. And if you have Medicare or most major insurance coverage, you may be able to get a new CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost. Shipping is free, and we'll even bill your insurance company for you. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now to learn how to end the painful finger sticks and get your own continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
Everybody wants cheap airfare, but where do you...
Because Qualcomm chips are found in many Android phones, meaning that it opens up the service to millions more phone users without tying them to a particular brand.
The BBC's Zoe Kleinman. China is seeking to minimize the possibility of a major new COVID outbreak during this month's Lunar New Year travel crush. News and analysis at townhall.com. A Chinese firm showcasing new augmented reality glasses. They listen to different languages, providing almost real-time translations.
TCL's Ray Neo X2 AR glasses are fitted with binocular, full-color, micro-LED optical waveguide displays.
They project, so to say, AR content into your field of view.
TCL's Stefan Streit says the AR glasses automatically detect and translate conversations on the glasses screens.
So you can have a face-to-face conversation with me, and even if we don't speak the same language, it automatically translates with subtitles. Nice to meet you.
Streit says in China, the Ray Neo currently offers 8 different language translations. The goal is to have the glasses on the market by later this year. I'm Ed Donahue.
Inflation has dropped again in the European Union countries that use the euro currency, but it remains at a painfully high rate, 9.2%. More on these stories, townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The traveler said, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 2.
The Deuce.
Of Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell Talk FM. Happy Friday.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome to it. We made it.
Yeah.
Finally.
That's right. Just got to do this 51 more times, and then it's Christmas all over again.
There you go. Feels like, even though it was a short week, feels like a long week.
It really did feel like a long, long week.
Like, we didn't work Monday, right?
No. Well,
right?
Not here.
I think, because it was the first.
It was the second, technically, but it was it was our official bank holiday, we'll call it.
That seems like a year ago to me.
I mean, it's been a long week, but I wouldn't call it a year.
It feels like that was a year ago to me.
Next week is going to feel really long.
It was a full
next
Friday
week. Next week, we're going to work all 5 days.
Yeah.
So.
Well, maybe I'll be back in the groove or whatever.
Yeah, here's hoping.
Yeah. But happy Friday. Happy McDonald's Friday.
Yes, indeed.
Fine folks, McDonald's, as they do each and every Friday, provide us with delicious, yummy, scrumptious breakfast treats. I didn't nose to the bag.
You haven't done it yet?
I got on a rabbit hole of watching blooper videos of Metallica and then just went from there. So,
well, I got my biscuits and gravy, my B&G.
Nice.
Quite a...
Did you go, do they flip them upside down?
It's double order, so you get 2 full biscuits. But they're pre-split, so you just, separate them.
Okay.
And make it work.
I just remember there was a whole thing where you were like doing the upside down.
Yeah, Sean style. When you get a half order or a regular size order, they'll give you 1 biscuit and it's cut in half. What they do, I found out recently, this is standard practice at McDonald's, is they flip both of your biscuits upside down, putting the softer biscuit innards on the bottom and the crispy biscuit top and bottom on top.
So it's a sort of a shield.
It prevents the gravy from completely saturating the biscuit.
Yeah. Without...
it sort of leaves it as 2 separate experiences, which is,
It buys you time.
Exactly.
Because at some point, what comes up must come down.
It's basically like a Tide Pod. Because it separates one side and the other side, then you just combine them in your mouth. Just like you do a Tide Pod. Combine it in your mouth.
We forget there's a time in society where you had to tell people not to eat
eat Tide Pods. I know. And that is a very recent time in our human history.
I'm telling you, I'm that guy. Let them do it. The rest will work itself out.
I'm not saying I would ever do it.
Right.
But they look delicious. They really, really do.
You know what should happen? No, it shouldn't. But what I would find funny is if like Willy Wonka or someone comes out with a Tide Pod candy that looks just like the Tide Pod.
So
I'm sure there probably is one already out there. But.
Sort of. Well, there's a guy who does. He's on TikTok, and he takes food like popular food. Like the most recent one I watched, he did was chicken and waffles.
Okay.
And he takes it and he basically makes it into a cube of gelatin. Essentially, he takes all the essences, all the flavors of those ingredients, and makes them into these like little gelatin cubes.
Okay.
And from what I've heard and what I've gathered, he said that people say they taste exactly like the food he's going for.
Huh.
It's like food of the future that eventually we'll just eat like cubes of food.
I don't know how they achieve it because, okay, you might like the essence of it maybe, but to say it tastes just like it, I don't see how that's possible.
Well, that's the thing is you're not getting consistency of mouthfeel.
Yeah,
and all
that's
that.
the problem.
So you're not getting the full experience, but you're still getting the flavors of it, the essences
to me,
of it.
that's not right.
Yeah.
If I eat a piece of steak, by golly, it better feel in my mouth like a piece of steak, not like Jell-O. I don't want to put up something that feels in my mouth like Jell-O and tastes like steak.
Sure.
That just sounds unnatural and not right.
I would still be intrigued to try it. Like I'm fascinated by
intrigued to try, sure, but to make it as my diet, no.
Right. I'm fascinated by gastronomy. Like if you ever watch Food Network and you see the food scientists doing stuff with
they do all the real cool stuff, but I'm all for that too. I just don't know.
I just want to get served a bubble of bacon vapor.
Yeah, I just don't. That's a novelty thing to me.
Yeah.
That's not something that's sustainable as my diet.
Sure.
In the future, that may be the case. I'm glad I'm not part of that future because I'm not eating gelatinous blobs and saying, "Ooh, Thanksgiving was delicious this year. Thank you." I'm sorry, I'm not doing that. Turkey's dying for my enjoyment.
Bear in mind, there was a period of time where, whether it be a company trying to sell more of its product, the Jell-O company was releasing recipes where you could make like savory salads with Jell-O.
Yeah.
So I'm saying,
the reason why it didn't take off.
Right. we might actually live in the greatest generation right now. This might be the best time to be alive from that perspective, at least, because we're not dealing with cucumber flavored Jell-O, and we're also not dealing with like chicken and waffle, Jell-O cubes of the future.
Yeah.
So right now we get to enjoy our food. I'm sure the world's falling down around us, but we can enjoy our food.
Yeah, if the 50 years from now, they'd be all like, eating a little Tic Tac pills and like, here's your dinner. And I'm like, no.
Yeah, see, I've gotten into this argument with people before. It's like, if you could just take a pill and be full, would you? No, I wouldn't. Because I enjoy the pursuit of food.
Well, that's just it. That's the biggest problem when it comes to this food thing is that is too much of an enjoyment staple. And quite frankly, an industry that always resurges and comes back because foods, and as
It's like if you could keep me alive with a pill, cool. But what would I be living for if I couldn't eat?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's a life goal. It's a thing that it's a joy in life. It's a deadly sin, by the way, too. Gluttony. You might have heard that one. But I mean, I just don't see society embracing that. At least not in my lifetime. Not anybody walking this earth to do that. What happens? I know how we get from where to here. We're talking food. I just happened to look at an article earlier about, it was like 50 different colonial food dishes, and things, and they tried to revolt you, and I ain't gonna lie, I don't think they succeeded. I think at the end of the day, they're like trying to say stuff like eel was something they ate. It's like, so they ate eel, big whoop, and it was actually a delicacy, and they made it in some kind of pie form, and I'm like, okay, eel, great. And they were like, roasted beaver tail. I'm like, well, that's what was available, and it's probably pretty good if you gave it a chance.
Yeah.
I imagine.
Might be a little gamey, but...
Well, but, yeah, and also because of the technology of the colonial times of the 17 and 1800s, there wasn't microwaves or, probably simpler,
if they were eating beaver tail, it was probably vanilla flavored. Let's face it, because if it's right next to those castorum sacs that beavers have,
it could be.
That apparently makes the artificial vanilla flavor you so enjoy.
And by the way, back then lobster was cheap, depending on where you were.
Oh yeah, no, they were serving it in prisons.
Yeah, it was
garbage food.
Yeah, and that's that. So we judge and we say things.
Most
and I'm
of the foods that we enjoy, like really seriously enjoy, we enjoy because of marketing campaigns.
Yeah,
like bacon. The entire reason this country was obsessed for like a good solid decade with bacon is because basically in the 1930s, 1940s, they had all this excess pork belly because they were selling pork, and they had all this excess pork belly, and they were trying to figure out what to do with it. And they figured out that if you put enough marketing spin on it and say bacon's the new breakfast meat, it's the best thing ever, that you can enter the lexicon.
Well,
you
it
can
also
force your way in.
helps. It also helps that it sells itself, because I don't care what you say or what. I don't even care if you're a hardcore vegan. When there's some bacon sizzling on the grill, you don't tell me your mouth ain't watering when you're smelling bacon cooking. I mean, come on, that 9 out of 10 humans would like that, and that one human we all look at weird when they say they don't.
Right.
Because if that ain't God telling me to eat it, smelling bacon cooking on a grill, I don't know what it is.
But a lot of that also is stuff that they've added after the fact, the hickory flavoring, the smoke flavor.
But even just the smell of fat from pork belly and grease cooking, I'm sorry. My whole house stinks all day because of it.
Right.
And I'm one of the few people that ain't mad when I come home at 4 o'clock and smells like bacon in my house.
I actually kind of enjoy that.
Yeah.
For 2 reasons. It's like, number 1, my house smells like bacon, and number 2, I actually feel like I did something that day.
Yeah, like, look.
I cooked. I accomplished something.
A domestic household.
Now, I got to ask you, though, how do you do your bacon?
Well, I do it depending on my mood that particular moment.
Okay.
Sometimes I just go old school and throw it in a frying pan and let her go. Sometimes we will bake it.
I have not had bacon in 2 years that was not baked.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
See, a lot of times I'll just throw
it's
in a
the
skillet.
most consistent way to get it to exactly where I want it. It's 400 degrees for 20 minutes, and it's perfect.
Depends on also what I'm doing with said bacon. Like if it's a breakfast thing, then we'll probably do an oven or something. But if it's like an ingredient in something else, I'll just throw it in the frying pan or whatever,
Because I'm the kind of person who I don't like floppy. I don't like any flop in my bacon.
Yeah.
I like crisp to the point where the fat part actually like crumbles.
Yeah.
That's how I like my bacon. Almost to the point of being overdone.
I lean crispy as far as like I don't like the part where it's so crisp where it tastes charred.
See, I do.
I do not like that.
I kind of like that. Granted, it's not. I have a couple pieces like that, but
if it's mixed in the batch, I'm okay with it.
Okay.
But that being said, I don't like the runny, stringy bacon either. I want a crisp bacon.
To me, that feels like a waste of bacon, which is why I don't. I'm sure we've had this conversation.
Yeah.
That's why I don't like
poppers,
jalapeno poppers.
Yeah. I agree with you that as far as all forms of way bacon is presented to us, the popper is one of my low on the pole of selections.
Unless
of
you
way
make
I'd rather
it crispy
bacon.
and then crumble it up on top.
Yeah.
Sure, that works.
Yeah. But But as far as degrees of crispiness, I don't mind it a little not crispy.
Right.
I don't mind, but if it's like that runny where you can wrap it around and it's raw basically still, or
I don't
not
like
fully
you
cooked.
describing bacon as runny. That's like the third time you've said it. It's kind of bothered. If you're eating runny bacon, you got the wrong bacon.
You know what I mean?
You probably should throw that bacon out.
But here's the thing. I'll sit there and devour like a whole thing of like turkey bacon or sizzling and just be just as happy. I really will, because I love eating meat with my fingers sometimes, and I don't care if it's turkey meat or bacon meat or whatever kind of meat it is. I'm just like, you know what? Life ain't that bad. I got a decent piece of meat in my hand, and we're good.
Yeah.
That's, so I'm not that picky when it comes to meat. I'm just like, yeah.
As long as I can hand fruit it.
And that's why I like it. And to be honest, like when you go to like a foreign style restaurant, whether it's a Greek restaurant or a Spanish or whatever, and they serve meats that aren't the three biggins in America, if they pork, chicken, or beef. I love those. Fish, game on. I grew up on fish. I'll eat almost any kind of fish.
Half the time when I was in Romania, when I was eating, I felt like I was being pranked.
Yeah.
Like I feel like they brought stuff out that they thought Americans would like, but they didn't do it right. Like they had bacon. There's this breakfast buffet at this church that we were staying at. They had bacon, but it wasn't cooked. It was just like cured, obviously, so it's fine. But it was just raw.
Well, and that's the other thing too is bacon in Europe and bacon in America and bacon in Europe aren't the same.
That's true.
Like actually European or British, like that style bacon they eat is closer to the Canadians in their bacon.
Right.
It's a different part of the cow. It's not, now don't get me wrong.
Pig.
They're both delicious.
Oh, sure.
I will eat them, twice on Sunday. But the
not supposed to eat pork on Sunday, Mike.
Bacon pancakes, making bacon pancakes.
Hey, actually pancakes, this is going to be the one time I will tell you this. Sausage links are better than bacon with pancakes or waffles or any syrup-based breakfast.
I would agree.
Yep.
I agree 100%. But sausage links.
That's what I said. Links.
Yeah, not patties.
Yeah,
links.
Links.
I 100% agree.
Even better than chicken and waffles?
Well, yeah. I mean, chicken and waffles is fine. I'll eat it every day. But syrup paired with sausage links is one of those, like peanut butter chocolate.
Yep.
It's just one of those combos that works. The maple sweetness with the savory meatness is just...
And that's the thing is, I don't like maple in my meats, but I'll eat syrup on my meats.
Yeah, those are good. They taste way better than those maple syrup infused sausages because those things now make your whole house smell like maple syrup sausage.
And that's the smell I can't stand.
And
walking
that
into.
one does not linger well like bacon does.
No, it does
You're
not.
absolutely right.
No, it does not.
I like my bacon chewy.
See, he's one of those ones. See,
I can't. I mean, that's fine. I'm sure I'll still eat it.
I will tell you, there's been one time in my life where I was revolted by someone's meat selection. One time.
Okay.
And it was the names will be changed to protect the innocent here. But several years ago, this was several like it was back when I would say like 08, 09 time frame. I was doing a remote in Artesia at a business that is no longer. The folks have retired and gone, and they were a long time business doing their thing. And typically when we do remotes, we have a guy cooking hot dogs, and they give out free hot dogs and things. Well, the guy on dogs, I don't know if he went to lunch or what, walked across the street to the coffee shop or something. I don't know. But at the end of the remote, we had a couple of hot dogs. They weren't burnt. They were charcoal. They weren't even, they were past the, I like a little, I don't mind a little char on my hot dog when it's off the grill. Sure.
Stop doing this.
Yeah.
Stop making that hand motion.
This is where hot dogs come from.
Yeah, okay. We're going to clip that out, Roy, and we can gif it.
But this hot dog There was like two of them. I mean, they went to charcoal. They were literally, you could...
Black.
They were...
Crack it in half.
Yeah, you dropped it in the bottom of the grill, they would mix right in with the briquettes. You wouldn't even notice, okay? And the lady that was one of the co-owners of that business said, do not throw that away. And she grabbed it and ate it. And she was happy.
But
she didn't eat it like trying to freak me out, like, ooh, She ate it like, ooh, that's my kind of dog, and took that nasty thing and ate it and enjoyed it. And I was revolted by it.
That's pretty rough.
She literally ate a piece of charcoal and ate it. Was happy.
There was a point, and this was, I want to say it was like last year. Thomas had I'm sorry. I want to say maybe this was like maybe one of Chris's first remotes. He was on dogs, and he burned some of the hot dogs, and so he ended up using the burned hot dogs as a base to put the done hot dogs when he was done, like on the second shelf. That's ingenious.
That's veteran moving.
That's right.
There.
That's
a guy on a grill that knows what they're doing. Yeah, exactly. But you pile your fresh dead on top of the previous dead. It's you go in layers. But I had never seen a more disgusting hot dog in my life.
Well, the inside was probably
it was cooked so much that it looked like that charred, ashy blackness all the way through.
Like I can see it. I can actually see what you're talking about.
Yeah,
it split kind of because the meat cracked.
Like if you found it on the ground, you would have thought it's a prehistoric artifact. That's what I'm saying.
That's rough.
You would have been like, is that like dinosaur poo? What is that? That's what it was at a consistency.
I feel like that's how most people like their bacon, though.
Well,
not that burned, but I like it with a little char on it.
I would call this petrified poo. That would be are the sales reps meeting in there?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what's going on. I hear people oh.
Well, they're waiting for fearless leaders, so nobody wants to go into the room.
Oh, I guess. So they're seeing if he's here yet. Like, is he here? Is he not here? Is he here? Don't bogart our McDonald's. But anyway. You will not find one of these nasty hot dogs at McDonald's.
It was basically the point of what we're trying to say.
You'll find deliciousness at McDonald's.
That's right.
So, all right, it's 8:24. We're going to chat more. We're going to do go ahead and do weather to break here. There is a product I teased last hour I saw, and I want to debate on it because I'm not sure if it's a good product or not. I think it could be, but I think it might not be as well. So we got to debate. We're going to do that here this hour. Before we do any of that, though, let's take a look at your weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. High pressure over the Four Corners area and also over southern New Mexico, and that'll be keeping things fair for us over the weekend. Pretty warm today, upper 60s and low 70s, and a little bit gusty, wind occasionally kicking up to about 30 miles an hour, but we should have sunshine. A few clouds in mid-30s for the overnight hours, and then Saturday and Sunday, low to mid-60s and sunny. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 38 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 60% with winds out of the west at 5 miles per hour. Hold on. Fighting a sneeze. Hold on. Woo, doggy. There it goes. Stupid allergies. All right. Sorry about that. Winds currently out of the west at 5 miles per hour. For today, sunny skies. Expect a high near 70, 69 officially. Winds will be out of the north, 5 to 15 miles per hour. Tonight, partly cloudy with an overnight low of 35 degrees. Winds out of the northwest at around 10 miles per hour. For the weekend, pretty pleasant. 60s for the most part. Actually, enjoy 60s. We got a lot of that coming. Saturday, mostly sunny, 63 for a high. Northwest winds 5 to 10. Tomorrow night, mostly clear. Overnight low of 27. Winds out of the southwest at around 5 miles per hour. Sunny on Sunday as well. 61 for a high, northwest winds 5 to 10 miles per hour, and we're going to be floating in the mid-60s for a good hunk of next week. I'm looking Monday 66, Tuesday 65, 66 and breezy on Wednesday, 62 on Thursday. So pretty mild week, looks like, for next week. All right, it is 26 minutes after 8 o'clock. We're going to go ahead and take a quick commercial break. We're also going to go ahead and play our news for this hour as well. And then we'll come back and chit-chat on the other side. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
As you begin this new year, you may have plans to get in better shape. That's a very good thing to do. I believe God wants us to take care of the body that He's given us to best serve Him. However, I think it's even more important to get our spiritual lives in good shape. That can be more challenging than physical exercise. Just like you need a plan to exercise, you need a plan to grow your spiritual life. Use a calendar or a journal, get a daily Bible reading plan, set an alarm on your phone, and take some time to read scripture and pray. Find a friend that'll partner with you so that you can keep each other accountable for not only daily Bible study, but for prayer as well. Just like you must discipline your physical body by building good habits, you must do the same thing with your spiritual body. At first, it may seem like you have to make yourself do these things, but believe me, once you get into that routine, you won't want to miss it, and you'll feel a true loss when you do. Give it a try. I promise it'll make a positive difference in your life.
Join us at the Country Club Road Church of Christ for worship at 10 a.m. on Sunday, located on the corner of Country Club and Washington in Roswell.
9 of 10 people with pre-diabetes don't even know they have it. Left untreated, diabetes can lead to other health complications including heart disease, stroke, and liver disease. Don't put off your care any longer. Artesia General Hospital's Diabetes Care Team can help you make a personalized plan to manage diabetes or pre-diabetes and reclaim your health. Learn more or request an appointment at artesiageneral.com/diabetes.
With the hustle, bustle, and bright lights of the holidays in the rearview mirror, it's time to ease into the new year with a new car or truck from your friends at Roswell Ford. Because nobody makes car buying easier. With more than 500 pre-owned vehicles in stock and brand new units arriving all the time, finding the perfect vehicle is easy. A 3-day money-back guarantee on all pre-owned vehicles makes the decision easy. No payments for 90 days easily gives you time to put those holiday expenses behind you. And with a goal of 100% credit approval, Roswell Ford even makes financing easy, regardless of your credit situation. And we happily accept I-10s. Like I said, easy. So make some time and come see what we have for you at the Tailgate Nation. Whatever you're looking for, you can count on Roswell Ford to keep it simple and make it easy. We're waiting for you now at the corner of 9th and Main, so we're even easy to find.
Edge Safety and Services LLC in Artesia, New Mexico has an immediate opening for a safety technician. Position requires a clean driving record and must be able to pass a drug and alcohol screen. Edge Safety offers great pay with IRA benefits and employer contribution towards health benefits. Please email resumes to edgecoding@yahoo.com or apply in person at 402 West Main Street inside the Edge Safety and Services facility. Edge Safety and Services LLC is an equal opportunity employer.
Now your Pecos Valley News Update. I'm Jared Cirillo. The city of Carlsbad is welcoming new Fire Chief Ken Ahrens. Ahrens had been serving as Assistant Fire Chief since 2021. He was first hired by the department in 2010 and later was promoted to the positions of Staff Development Officer and Fire Marshal. Ahrens replaces former Fire Chief Rick Lopez, who retired at the end of 22. Carlsbad also has a new administrative assistant in the mayor's office in Wanda Aguilar, who replaces Cheyenne Mathola. Aguilar has previously been the assistant director of the Riverwalk Recreation Center. A Border Patrol agent wearing body armor was struck by gunfire but avoided serious injury Thursday while confronting the occupants of a vehicle suspected of migrant smuggling in New Mexico. 6 people were taken into custody after the vehicle later crashed, according to U.S. Customs and Border Protection. The agency added that the agent was shot in the chest multiple times and was released after a medical exam. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Elephants use these skin folds on their bodies to crush mosquitoes. Mike Winters uses his to hide M&Ms. Here's Mike Winters.
Good morning. It is 31 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome back. Sorry, I was wrapped up in something else and wasn't paying attention. That happens from time to time. Hey, so when Sean gets back in here, I want to show him this product. And I got to be honest, this is a product I was sitting there scrolling through my my feed on Twitter, and this product came up. And I've watched the video. It's only a little 30-second video a couple times now for this product. I just want you to watch it and just tell me if you think this is a legit product. Well, I mean, it's a real product, but you think it's a good one, or do you think it is
all right, gimmicky? So it's a can. Okay, so it's a can opener for soda cans.
Yes.
It takes the top off the soda cans.
Yes.
So but it removes it like the top of a jar, basically opening the entire rim of the soda can.
And in essence, turning a can into a drinking glass.
Into a cup.
Yeah.
But one that I guess you could reseal? Because you could pop that back on, right?
I don't know. I don't think you can. Or at least, I mean, you can put it on there, but I don't know if it seals.
No, it's not going to seal, but to keep it fresh. See, that's the biggest problem for me is...
Now, is this a good product or is it a gimmick? Because I'm on the fence. I'm not sure.
I feel like it could be a good product.
Now, my other question is...
Here's why. Because of what they did in the middle of the video, which is...
add drink,
adding
like lemon
ice,
slice and
adding
ice and all that.
like a lemon slice.
And they do it with like seltzer cans and soda cans, and everything comes in a can you can pretty much open.
As somebody who drinks almost exclusively out of cans, I like the idea. It's not something I would do every time, but I do like the idea.
That's what I'm thinking. Like, the concept seems interesting to me, and I'm like, that could be a cool party gig or thing. What I want to know is the functionality of it, because a soda can, they're not built with the toughest, strongest metals out there. You know, they're designed to be recycled or thrown away. You know what I mean? And I know when the strength of a can is the top and the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's where all the strength resides. When you remove the top, the lid, so to speak, does this can in essence turn into a mess? Like, as soon as you try to pick it up, is it all just going to
crumble in your
fall
hand?
within itself?
Well, that's why
I'm curious. That's why I'm not. Is it a gimmick or a good thing?
But here's the thing: did you notice in the video? Now I know we're describing something that you guys can't see in the radio world, but basically, it's just like one of those. You know the can openers that you see, like the automatic can openers that make it to where you can pop the top back on.
Yeah.
Here's the thing: those. The video, it showed that they left the rim around the can.
So the structure
like it just cut the inside metal part out.
Yeah.
But if you look at the one the tops that were popped off,
it looked like they had them.
It had the rim on there too. So it's like, I feel like somewhere along the lines they're lying.
Yeah. That's where I'm like that's where I'm worried about the gimmicky part. Because in concept, in the video, you're like, oh, look, you could take the tops and you could turn your Coors beer cans into like a festive drink holder while you're beer.
I think that's maybe the most irritating part of that whole commercial was they were adding lime slices to Miller Lite cans. What is wrong with you?
Teach their own. But it's...
Flag.
Yeah, I mean, do you. But that's where it... Now, we've talked about the product. I might as well give them you can go buy and determine for yourself whether you think this thing's... But it's
What's it
a
called?
company
I
called
love the music.
Vorra, Vorra.
Vorra.
Yeah. Let me go back to the actual post. Vorra, summer party essentials suitable for all kinds of canned drinks and beer. Make it easy to open cans without hurting hands or mouth. The best assistant when meeting with friends. Voro drinks buddy. Let me go to the website.
I think it's a good novelty.
Here's the website here.
Sean's dying.
It's a can opener. And in the pictures it looks like that rim is still on there. And then, like, they show him pouring the drink out of that can into a glass, because you could say use it as a drink DUI, a glass bottle, use it as a vase if you want.
See, that's the thing, though. I wouldn't, once you open it like that, why would you pour the beverage out? The whole point of having a pop top is that it's a pour spout.
Yeah, might as well just. But
it's harder to pour out of a cup shape than it is to pour out of a pour spout.
Yeah, I don't know, but I'm oddly curious. What does this thing cost? It's a little handheld device that you just turn the
I like the
size. It's $15.
I like the generic music playing and during the ad.
Normally it's $14.99 on sale right now. Normally $29.99. And if you buy multiples, you save money, kind of deal.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I'd be curious to try it once or twice. I think it's something maybe we should get
and see it for
try
ourselves.
to try on the air.
I think you're right. Maybe I'll order one.
So Thomas, why don't you get on that?
We'll show it to him. Maybe
I
he'll
saw-
see if he thinks that's a good thing to have.
I can see Gene getting it first, honestly.
Speaking of interesting products,
he doesn't drink enough stuff out of cans to warrant it. I rarely see Gene drink out of a can.
I feel like he'll drink anything.
No, he doesn't drink sodas. I can count on my I can count the number of times on one hand where I've seen him with a carbonated beverage, and usually it's a Sprite, and it's when there's absolutely nothing else available. He doesn't drink carbonated beverages very often.
That's crazy.
Tanner's the same way.
Yeah, he drinks mostly coffee, tea, and he's got a weird. He likes the weird pumpkin chai spot.
Yeah,
he
he's
likes
all about
that.
coffee. I'll give you that.
But any goofy flavored things, Gene's in. Gene's usually in on it. Normal things that people like, Gene's not always in on. But when it's something obscure or weird, or generally people don't like, Gene's in. Like fruitcake.
Yeah, I like
Sean and Gene are the only two people I know on the planet that like fruitcake. I know there's probably one of you two out there. I like it, but I mean, not like they like it. Like they crave it during the year and say, "Hey, who's going to give me a fruitcake?" Most people are like, "Oh, great, a fruitcake." These people are like, "I didn't get a fruitcake this year." So yeah. So I don't think he would benefit from this product.
Probably not. Although maybe try it for the radio.
And he doesn't really drink like energy drinks or the canned Starbucks coffee. He drinks actual coffee.
I'm going to show you the product that I found the other day.
Okay.
That I want almost more than oxygen. That literally changed my life when I tried it. Okay, now it's not going to make a lot of sense as I describe it. It is a piece of green plastic. It's about yay big, about we'll call it 3.5, 4 feet tall.
Okay.
It is a muscle hook. Okay, that's what it looks like.
Okay, it just clouded out. So it's
that's
a
what it
muscle
looks like.
hook.
It's like a J on top, a J on the bottom, and it's got like a handle with some bumpy things in the
It
middle.
looks like something you put on the door,
Right.
over a door jamb.
So I was at a friend's house, and she had one of these, and I was like, "Well, that's interesting." She goes, "Try it." So what you do, you take it and you hold the handle down here, and there's a handle up here, and you put it over your shoulder, and that ball on the back specifically targets that muscle right in your shoulder, like in that shoulder area.
Okay.
Dude, when I tell you it was the best massage I have ever had my entire life.
Wow.
I am not lying. Human or anybody. I tend to feel like a weenie when somebody goes to massage my shoulders.
Right.
Because I really don't like a lot of squeeze in my massage. Bless you ahead of time.
Bless you.
I don't like a lot of squeeze, and I tend to, it tends to hurt more than, but I also don't want to say, don't want to look like a weenie. So I'm like, no, that's great. It feels good.
Right.
Good. This was the best massage I've ever had in my entire life. And I gave it to myself, but immediately I'm like, as soon as I have the money for it, I'm going to go get one.
Now one of your friends have one of these?
Yeah, a friend of mine had one. And I just thought it was like a thing to like prop a toy box open or something, because it looks ridiculous. But then she showed me how it works. And I'm telling you, it's life-changing. Like,
think we could borrow it and bring it in and just see what's going on with
maybe
it?
we should, yeah. I sure can get it for it. I could be single for no, it's not one of those. But I'm saying I could be single for another 2-3 years if I had a product like this. Because that's real. Sometimes you just want somebody to rub your shoulders.
Hit that part of your back you can't get yourself.
That's right. Who needs a partner?
I'd be curious. Yeah,
it is. Yeah, it's maybe.
Is it as game changer as the head thing? Like my wife.
You're talking about the head scratcher.
Yeah, my wife. I don't know how to say this without sounding too gross. I have not seen many times of sheer pleasure on her face like I've seen when she said that thing.
Yeah. I will say this: you can that has a point of diminishing returns.
Yeah.
I got one of those for Christmas. I had a scalp massager.
Yeah.
But it was plastic, and the neat where usually it has metal and they're needles. Where the needles were, or the pointy things, were massage balls.
Okay.
It sucked.
Huh.
Like it didn't scratch the scalp.
Yeah.
It didn't. It
So
sucked.
this was the metal ones
Yeah.
that were really, and
Yeah, you got to go all out and get like the fancy one if you're going to do it.
like, I think we have it laying around the house somewhere. It was a stocking stuffer from a couple years ago, you know, the head thing. But you would have thought she won the lottery when she got that. She was like, and her face, I was like, pretty good, huh? And she tried it on me, and I was like, it's nice, but it ain't doing all the things it's doing to you over there.
You touched her in a special way.
Yeah. So, I
had to go invade Roy's.
I'd be curious to see what that's about. I tried.
I had to go invade Roy's antacids a second ago. I've got the worst acid reflux right now.
Jeez, what's going on? I got allergies real bad this morning. I woke up and my nose has been like you hear me sneezing. I don't know what's going on today. What's out there in the world, in the ether, that's making me sneeze, and my eyes are watery. I'm sneezing.
I'm guessing it's because it's a full moon.
I took an allergy med about an hour ago, but I don't feel like it's working. So I don't know what's going on here. But anyway,
I feel fine.
Great, actually.
Thanks, Roy.
Thanks, bud.
He's like, I feel okay today.
So here's
what?
If it matters to anyone.
Do me a favor, Sean. Go on your computer and look up a picture of quarterback Sam Howell. Commanders quarterback, SamHowell. If you grow a beard, Roy, you might be Sam Howell.
I mean, I've been Tony Romo before, but
Well, wait till he brings up Sam Howell. If you grow like a little 5 o'clock shadowy beard,
wow,
I can kind of see Roy here.
Yeah. No, I see it. It's in the you have to trim the hair a little bit, but also when your hair tends to get like windswept, how it gets kind of ruffled a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a quick tussle of the hair, and yeah, you'd be a Sam Howell.
I think you could be a Sam Howell.
I can't grow a full beard like that.
Have you tried? Because I'm looking at because you haven't shaved today, right? You've got kind of a shadow thing going on.
Yeah.
Back up a little bit away from the mic so I can see your face.
How often would you say you shave?
Like once a week.
Okay.
So how long does it take you to get
that? 3 days.
Yeah, grow it out, man. You can grow a beard.
Because I'm looking at it and it doesn't look patchy. It looks pretty consistent.
But then it takes like a month to make it look.
Well, all beards
full.
take forever, man.
Yeah.
It's just
there's a weird transition time.
It's a lifetime process,
which is why I always tell people I'm never cutting this thing off again because I know what I have to go through to get a decent sized goatee. So.
Yeah, but honest, just from your 3-day growth there, I don't think you're like my brother. He can't. It's patchy. There's spots where there's no hair, and so when he grows out, it looks like he got bit by a dog or something, or got in a fight with a clipper. But yours looks steady and consistent, not patchy. So I think you could grow a beard if you dedicate your time to doing it. But anyway, that's only if you want to look like Sam Howell. You do you, brother. But I'd say, especially if he starts doing well, they're going to put him in at quarterback this week. If he gets kind of good and popular. Just saying, it's a move. We walk around New Mexico for a hot minute. There are going to be a few people thinking you're Sam Howell.
Get you a Commander's jersey and lean into it.
Yeah. Can you throw a football at all? I mean, not to be like NFL level, but so it looks like a spiral.
Could you put a spiral on it?
Can you fake it?
Yeah.
There you go.
Ladies and gentlemen, Sam Howell's in town. He's available.
Sam.
Single ladies. He's looking for a date.
He brings his own antacids.
Well, like I said, I was Tony Romo back when he was quarterback.
Yeah, but Romo's guy is polarizing. Sam Howell, everybody loves him right now.
Right now.
And I think I look more like Tony Romo than Sam.
He hadn't done anything to mess it up just yet.
Yeah. So I kind of see it. I kind of see the Sam Howell thing there. Because I saw him. To be honest, I haven't really paid any attention to what he looked like because he's our third string quarterback, and I was like,
didn't think he'd ever come up until.
And then he was being in all the interviews and everything yesterday. A lot of pictures. I was like, why does he keep reminding me of Roy here with a beard?
It's probably the chin.
Yeah, I can see Romo. I can see Romo a little bit.
Like you have to cut your hair up and all that. To
you
be
would
Romo.
have to, yeah. A little
like
bit.
all you need to do now is grow a beard, and you're more Sam Howell-like.
Yeah.
But with the 5 o'clock shadow like he has here, I can see that.
Yeah. Of course, Romo's I don't know. I think Romo wants to be a funny guy, but I don't think he's that witty.
He's got it.
Like, well, I mean, like you ever see him do commercials?
He's like Brett Favre.
Like, yeah, maybe. But you ever watch like any of his commercials that he's ever been in?
Not
Like,
closely, but
like Corona. He does like the Corona hotline commercials. I've seen him in a couple others, but that one's one of his more popular ones for Romo. I know he's not an actor or anything, but like other people of the same stature as him do those kind of commercials, and I'm laughing.
Aaron Rodgers is genuinely a funny person when he does those commercials.
When Romo does them, I feel like it's so bad shtick. It doesn't seem even.
That could also be who he's doing the commercial with. Like, for example, the whole discount double check thing with Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
Those are funny commercial writers.
Yeah.
That wrote a funny spot.
Sure.
So it could just be that he's
and
dealing with
you're
bad
absolutely
material.
right. It could be poor writing, but I don't know. The lines are always poor usually in those. They're just gimmicky lines. But if people deliver them right, they still, like I don't care. Like you take the NBA guys, like you watch Shaq and those guys and all them. They could do the exact same commercial, and I'd be like, "That's way funnier." You just know what I mean? It's just some people have a knack for Charles Barkley, like him, like Barkley and Romo have done commercials together, and it was like an announcer back. I think it might be Corona. Barkley's kind of funny, Romo not so much, and they're talking to each other, and it's just and it's nothing. Romo's by the way, and I'll say this: when it comes to football analysts on doing games right now. I would argue Romo's probably the best one out there. Yeah,
better than like Aikman.
Yeah,
really.
Personally, I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, I think the way he's got a Madden-like quality of explaining the complex to the layman person, and Romo does a great job of that. And that's why, as an analyst or announcer, I think he's top notch. He's one of the best ones out there. But when it comes to off the cuff wit banner, I don't think he's got that gene in him. I just don't.
His voice has gotten a lot gruffer too. I think like he's started smoking or something.
Maybe he has. Crack's a heck of a drug.
I'm in my early 40s. I think now's a good time to start smoking.
Now I'm picking up meth.
I think now's a good time to start a crack addiction.
But that's actually probably happens more often. I mean, I don't know about meth or anything, but I think that happens because when guys hit their midlife crisis, they want to do things that make them feel young again. They'll pick up something like a habit.
Back at it like a crack addict.
Just started a little casual heroin.
Yeah, but those that can't afford Porsches and Ferraris, they pick up a habit.
Real quick.
Yes.
I was watching Sven Gulli last Friday.
Okay.
And they were showing a movie called Earth versus the Spider.
Okay.
Earth
versus the Spider. I'm sure it's an old
50s movie.
Yeah, the B movies. Yeah.
Yeah. And they go, well, it was like, and it was like a 1950s movie.
Yeah.
So they, they basically film a tarantula and blow it up and superimpose it and stuff.
Right.
And it was a really fun movie. What I liked about it, or one thing I noticed, is that there's a specific cavern in there.
Okay.
That they use on location, and lo and behold, it's settings of the world famous Carlsbad Caverns.
Oh, okay.
Carlsbad, New Mexico.
Yeah, that's probably the most ominous thing they could find on, in the real world at the time or something. So.
Yeah, and when you watch it, you're like, "Yep, for sure. There's the stalactites and the stalagmites. I recognize those exact ones.
Maybe that spider's still living there.
They're still, yeah.
Wouldn't it be funny if they had like a prop spider and they just actually kept it and stuck it back into the? You're just like walking around in one of those parts of the cavern where a lot of people don't go, and there's one of these big, spiders just sitting there.
I'm going to
the
Carlsbad.
50s movies.
I'm going to Carlsbad tomorrow.
Are you?
Yeah.
Take a trip down to the cavern.
Caverns, yeah.
And go and ask, if you got a still shot of that spider, just ask all the employees, where is this located? And see what they say.
I just think it's funny that the Carlsbad Caverns was world famous back in 1958.
Sure. Well, it's one of the natural wonders of the world, I think. I think it's in that list of natural wonders of the world.
Yeah.
There's different wonders of the world, the natural ones, the ones that we didn't make. And I think caverns are one of them. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, go watch that and see see it looks exactly how it does now.
Okay, I'll look online. I'm sure if I type in Earth versus Spider.
Yeah, I think it is online.
Yeah, I'm sure I could see at least a good idea what the spider looks like. I got a feeling. I think I kind of in my head already. I know what it. Very, very jerky. Very, CGI that was very good at the time. Yeah. But you look at it now and you're like, whoa.
Yeah.
Or their version of CGI. They didn't have CGI because they didn't have computers, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, it's a fun movie.
Yeah, exactly. All those, I kind of have a soft spot for those bad movies. And, I generally don't want to watch them till about 10:30 at night, though. I mean, you know what I mean? It's not something for the daytime. Something for like before you go to bed to watch. So, probably should take a break. It's 8:52. We're going to pause for Wall Street business update. Quick commercial break. Let me see if it's. We had problems with the Wall Street update the last hour. Let's see if it's fixed. Hopefully it is. All right. We'll be back after this break. Don't go away. Oh, now you're fighting me. Okay. Let's try this again. Yeah, the Wall Street Journal is not working. So I'm or the Wall Street business update's not. Yeah, I know, I'm talking. Yeah, the Wall Street business update's not working. So I'm going to go ahead and stop this and then just go right into the break. We'll be back on the other side. Don't go away.
Jennifer here from Trustmark Roofing, and I know you've heard me say that you can trust Trustmark, but I want you to know what that looks like in real life. A few years ago, we installed a beautiful new roof for an older woman who was recently widowed. She was an artist and colors were really important to her. So when she said she didn't like the color of a brand new roof, we took that seriously. She had picked the color and signed off on it, but I just kept thinking, if she's going to walk into her house every day and be disappointed, then we're just going to redo it. So we did. We ripped that beautiful new roof off and replaced it with a slightly different color, and she was thrilled. Yes, it cost us quite a bit of money to make her happy, but I want you to know you can trust Trustmark to make it exactly right every time. If you have any roofing needs, call us at 575-755-ROOF or find us online at trustmarkroofpros.com.
Trustmark Roofing, we put people first.
Here to help you breathe easy. That's what you can expect from Artesia General Hospital's cardiopulmonary and respiratory therapy team, both literally and figuratively. From innovative treatments for lung cancer and COVID-19 to management for everyday breathing problems like asthma and bronchitis, our care for acute and chronic conditions is unmatched in Southeast New Mexico, and the compassion of our caregivers offers peace of mind with each visit. Get the help you need for chronic respiratory conditions. Call 575-748-3333 or visit artesiageneral.com/respiratory.
ENMU Roswell welcomes new and returning students to register online and on campus for the spring 2023 semester. Prepare for brighter days ahead and learn new career skills in arts and sciences, technical and health education right here at home. Classes start January 17th. Talk with an advisor today. Call 575-624-7000 or log on to roswell.enmu.edu.
Success starts here. ENMU Roswell.
Edge Safety and Services LLC in Artesia, New Mexico has an immediate opening for a safety technician. Position requires a clean driving record and must be able to pass a drug and alcohol screen. Edge Safety offers great pay with IRA benefits and employer contribution towards health benefits. Please email resumes to edgecoding@yahoo.com or apply in person at 402 West Main Street inside the Edge Safety and Services facility. Edge Safety and Services LLC is an equal opportunity employer.
With the hustle, bustle, and bright lights of the holidays in the rearview mirror, it's time to ease into the new year with a new car or truck from your friends at Roswell Ford. Because nobody makes car buying easier. With more than 500 pre-owned vehicles in stock and brand new units arriving all the time, finding the perfect vehicle is easy. A 3-day money-back guarantee on all pre-owned vehicles makes the decision easy. No payments for 90 days easily gives you time to put those holiday expenses behind you. And with a goal of 100% credit approval, Roswell Ford even makes financing easy, regardless of your credit situation. And we happily accept I-10s. Like I said, easy. So make some time and come see what we have for you at the Tailgate Nation. Whatever you're looking for, you can count on Roswell Ford to keep it simple and make it easy. We're waiting for you now at the corner of 9th and Main, so we're even easy to find.
As you begin this new year, you may have plans to get in better shape. That's a very good thing to do. I believe God wants us to take care of the body that He's given us to best serve Him. However, I think it's even more important to get our spiritual lives in good shape. That can be more challenging than physical exercise. Just like you need a plan to exercise, you need a plan to grow your spiritual life. Use a calendar or a journal, get a daily Bible reading plan, set an alarm on your phone, and take some time to read scripture and pray. Find a friend that'll partner with you so that you can keep each other accountable for not only daily Bible study, but for prayer as well. Just like you must discipline your physical body by building good habits, you must do the same thing with your spiritual body. At first, it may seem like you have to make yourself do these things, but believe me, once you get into that routine, you won't want to miss it, and you'll feel a true loss when you do. Give it a try. I promise it'll make a positive difference in your life.
Join us at the Country Club Road Church of Christ for worship at 10 a.m. on Sunday, located on the corner of Country Club and Washington in Roswell.
2022 was a roller coaster year for your Roswell Coyotes and Goddard Rockets, and KSVPTV.com is your home for every second of the action throughout the 2022 season. Relive all the game-changing plays and the players that made it a season for the books. Simply click on the Roswell Coyotes or Goddard Rockets tab at KSVPTV.com and get ready to dive into a season of memories made and victories won. KSVPTV.com, your official home for all things Coyotes and Rockets and Southeastern New Mexico's Sports Authority.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. U-Haul is the world's largest advertiser in the Yellow Pages. Too bad millennials don't know what the Yellow Pages are. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 58 minutes after 8 o'clock.
Too late. Too late.
I did it on purpose.
I know you did. And it worked.
Stay tuned next hour. We're going to have the folks from Main Street Roswell scheduled to join us. Barbara Gomez give us an update on what they've got going on. So
I don't have time to get into this hour, but at the beginning of next hour, I need to get something off my chest.
All right.
I just witnessed one of the most baller corporate moves ever.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I just watched a dude basically who was fired in controversy last year.
Okay.
Bully his way back into the ownership of the company.
Interesting.
I'll explain next hour because it's.
Is it a big name company?
Oh yeah.
I'm trying to think where that happened.
Stay tuned.
I'm trying to formulate.
It makes sense completely from who I am. But,
yeah.
But
okay.
it just happened, and it was rumored yesterday. And then as they were reporting on it this morning, it actually happened.
Is this something to do with McMahon or something in wrestling?
Yup.
Okay.
Yup.
Okay.
Stay tuned. Stuff just got like Succession level weird, dude.
But here's my thing. Is this a shoot or a
No,
work?
there's no way this could be a shoot.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Is it a work?
I'm sorry, there's no way this could be a work. It's got to be. It's got to be a shoot.
That's my only... anything that comes to wrestling, we're like,
this
is it or not?
This benefits nobody but one man.
Okay.
I'll explain.
All right, it is 9 o'clock. You're listening to 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell, New Mexico. We'll be back on the other side of news. Don't go away.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomas. On Capitol Hill, they're playing Let's Make a Deal on this fourth day of the impasse over Congressman Kevin McCarthy's bid to be the next Speaker of the House.
The two sides are working furiously behind closed doors to carry out an agreement, even as McCarthy lost 5 more floor votes for the speakership, with the same band of opponents voting against him. It made 11 straight ballot losses for McCarthy. Representative Ralph Norman of South Carolina, one of the 20 Republicans consistently voting against McCarthy, said of the offers coming from the McCarthy camp, quote, "It's the changes that we wanted." McCarthy allies also voiced optimism, saying they felt progress was being made. But they hadn't been able to show progress on the floor despite the growing number of concessions. It was unclear if a deal would get McCarthy over the hump. Bernie Bennett, Capitol Hill.
The economy's job creation machine outperformed again last month, doing better than economists were expecting, creating 223,000 jobs in the final month of the year. The unemployment rate fell to 3.5%. And while the jobless rate falls, there are signs that wage growth is cooling, and that gives Wall Street hope that the Fed may back away from big interest rate hikes to slow the economy in the face of raging inflation. And there is a relief rally underway this morning on Wall Street. Investigators say there is significant evidence tying Brian Kohberger to the murders of 4 University of Idaho students. They say there's DNA evidence, cell phone tracking, and video footage of a vehicle. All pointing, they say, to the suspect who's being held without bond following his initial court appearance in Idaho. An encouraging report on Buffalo Bills safety Damar Hamlin recovering after going into cardiac arrest on the field Monday night. Doctors say he's now communicating in writing. One of the first things he wanted to know, who won the game? Watching Wall Street, the Dow is up 520 points. NASDAQ ahead 148. More on these stories, townhall.com.
Everybody wants cheap airfare, but where do you find it? You call low-cost airlines. Their prices are direct from the airlines, and they're so low you can't find these fares published anywhere. They specialize in cheap flights, discount hotel rooms, cheap car rental rates, and great package deals anywhere around the world. Wherever you want to go, they can help you get there cheaply and with a best price guarantee. If you want the lowest prices on your airline tickets or other travel services, call now. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the cheapest airfare and hotel rates available. So don't wait. Call right now for the lowest travel prices anywhere and for great last-minute travel deals too.
Call 866-755-5300. That's 866-755-5300. Again, that's 866-755-5300. Call us right now.
An official government report in Kazakhstan concludes that the mass uprising, which took place in January of last year, was, in fact, an organized coup attempt.
Was it a coup? Was it a straightforward people's uprising? Or was it an attack organized by internationally trained terrorists? Different versions of what happened in Kazakhstan began to emerge almost as soon as fighting broke out. But now the authorized version has been produced. It says senior officials allowed protesters to get their hands on weapons, supporting attempts to overthrow the government. The country's former internal security minister and also its defense minister are both now being prosecuted for their alleged roles in the upheaval. The report promises more details once their trials are completed.
As COVID spreads in China, other countries call on Beijing to share more comprehensive data on the outbreak that's currently underway. News and analysis at townhall.com. Two major Southern law firms feel the urge to merge.
The firm will have offices on both coasts and more than 550 attorneys. The attorneys leading both Alabama-based Maynard Cooper and Gale and South Carolina-based Nexon Pruitt say there are similar philosophies, and a trend toward companies wanting to deal with bigger law firms led them to combine. Nexon Pruitt Chairman Leighton Lord will be the president and chief strategy officer for the new Maynard Nexon firm. Jeff Grantham is now managing shareholder of Maynard Cooper and Gale. He will serve as the new firm's CEO. John Scott reporting.
With its flights now back on a roughly normal schedule, Southwest Airlines turning its attention to repairing its damaged reputation after it canceled some 15,000 flights around Christmas, leaving numerous holiday travelers stranded. More on these stories, townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The devil said, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 3.
Crazy Viernes.
Mornings with Mike Winters right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. I gotta admit, the more I'm sitting here staring at this thing, the more I'm proud of my
100%, yeah.
My DIY fix it.
You brought him back.
Yeah.
You top sticked it.
Yeah.
I admire it.
He's almost as good as the new one. And
he's better because he can
he kind of
stretch his head out and look around a little bit. Yeah.
I can do that with him.
That's right. This guy wants to look this way. You know what he has to do?
I can even recreate Exorcist with him.
Yes, you could.
So now I gotta adjust it right in there. So back to the presentation.
The Exorcisist. That was one of the channels on Stay Tuned. It was like fitness channel or whatever, but it was the chick doing stuff from The Exorcist.
Yeah, I
it's
remember
like, head
that.
spins. Her head starts spinning. She goes, make it burn, feel it burn. Somebody behind her catches on fire. She goes, good, Doreen.
There was one with a game show that made me laugh, and I just don't remember the premise or anything. But I remember seeing like a game show. Like, think of 90s or late 80s television and all the things that they had. And that was kind of the infancy of like QVC and all that too, if I remember right. So there was a few of those channels where they had like a Joan Rivers type doing the, selling whatever trinket, but it's some hell-related thing or something.
They did Wayne's World, but they did Dwayne's World.
Yeah.
Which their pictograph was an eyeball, a naval ship, and a piece of cloth. And he's like, I worship Saturn? And then they had the hot poker in the eye cam. Whoa! Anyways. So yeah, that was just one of the channels. But okay, so let me...
I'd like to go check that movie out. I wonder if it's available anywhere.
100% free on YouTube.
Is it?
100%. If you don't have premium, you'll have to watch their ad breaks, but it's free. You don't have to pay for it.
I can suffer through those.
Sure. Suffer. But yeah, definitely a good rewatch.
Yeah.
If you got nothing else to watch. But
yeah, or watch it for the first time for billions that have not seen the movie because I've seen the numbers.
Yeah.
A lot of people that watch it.
And really take in and appreciate the terrible acting of the children.
And to be honest, if you've been missing your John Ritter fix, that was one of his movies. He starred in back, it was not Problem Child level, but it was, it was right up there.
Problem Child was barely Problem Child levels. That was,
to be honest, and there's not a lot of John Ritter movies.
That's a tough watch.
I mean, he's a TV guy for his company, and 8 Simple Rules and all the things he did.
He was JD's dad on Scrubs.
Yeah. He's done a lot of that. So movies weren't his main thing, but there was a couple there. He was, and even when like 8 Simple Rules came out, that was the show he ultimately passed.
Right.
When he was doing, which starred a young Kaylee Cuoco.
Indeed, it did.
It did. And you know what? It's funny. I watched. It was some kind of like E-Story or True Hollywood, one of those kind of documentary shows, and it was talking a little bit about the 8 Simple Rules and all that, and they were interviewing the other sister from that show, and I'm like,
there's another sister?
Oh yeah, there was the 2 girls.
I never watched it.
Yeah, it was 8 Simple Rules for dating my daughter, but there was 2 daughters, and Cuoco's character was the slightly older one, but there was one like a year or 2 younger.
Okay,
it was the other daughter, and granted, this was a different time, but they did it like the token blonde and then the token brunette, where the blonde's the hottie, but the brunette's,
the book smart one.
Yeah, but still, good looking.
Oh, 100%, yeah.
It was the Ginger Mary Ann thing all over again. It was that thing for 8 Simple Rules. And then Al Bundy's wife, Peggy, what's her name? She's in is the wife.
Right. I can't think of her name off the time. I know what you're talking about.
Seagal, Katie Seagal.
Katie Seagal, yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. Which, by the way, in real life, she's married to the creator of Sons of Anarchy. Yeah, the guy that wrote Sons of Anarchy and the Mayans and all that.
I knew that.
That's her husband.
Because she's in that.
She's the main character, one of the main characters in Sons of Anarchy.
Right.
Her husband's in it too. The first couple seasons of Sons of Anarchy, he's in it. He's a character in it. He's a member of the biker club, the Sons of Anarchy, but he's in prison at the start of the show. So he's like a guy in prison working the inside for them. He got sent to prison for the club and was doing his time. And spoiler alert, he doesn't make it to the end of the show.
Well, I figure if you wanted to know, you probably would have seen it by now.
Well, that's been out for about 10 years now or whatever. So, it's all, well, maybe not 10, but long enough to where you could watch it, all of it on, I definitely can see it on Hulu. I know you used to be able to watch it on Netflix. I'm not sure if it's still there now. I know it's on Hulu.
But yeah, because they're running the Mayan show on Hulu too.
Well, it's all FX. It's an FX property, and they exclusively do the FX stuff. So, So, by the way, have you heard any talk of a new season of Dave coming out or anything? Like, I see a lot of stuff for new things, and I'm like, what about Dave? Dave was a show I dug.
I think it's like he did what he did for a couple seasons, and I think he's done with it now. I don't know for sure, but
bummer, because
he's also kind of, I think, leaving it open to where maybe he can come back if need be.
Because quite frankly, I would argue some of his comedy is as wittily written as Letterkenny and all that. Although I finally finished the last season of Letterkenny here, or the most recent season of Letterkenny.
Hold on.
6 episodes.
This says December 22nd, 2022. Thursday afternoon, series creator and star Dave Bird, a.k.a. Lil Dicky, took to Instagram to confirm that filming for the 3rd season has wrapped.
Oh, good.
So they're I guess,
so I'm
putting out
thinking
season
sometimes
3.
in 2023 they'll be showing up on FX here.
Yep.
I might catch them in real time this time.
Yeah.
Record them and all that.
Hi, I'm Dave.
Although Hulu's pretty good about putting them up real quick, so it's not a big issue there.
Yeah.
It's not like
usually it's next day.
It's not like Netflix where I watch like Better Call Saul and then I got to wait.
I still haven't finished or started the season.
A year to see the next.
I'm waiting for him to put it up on Netflix.
The one show that bugged me the most about that was the show Shameless, because I liked Shameless. It's a great show. If you ever watch it, I mean, it's not for the kids,
right?
But it's a really good show. It's actually loosely based off originally a British show.
Really?
Yeah. Basically, they were in the original. They're in London. Is that our guest? They were in London, and it was basically because the Shameless takes place in like bad part of Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
This, in essence, it was the same thing but in London, and that was the Shameless there.
Right.
And it was their characters, and then they made an American version, like The Office, same scenario.
But the American version was a little more successful.
Yes. Well, maybe. I don't know.
If you look at the British Office, there was one season, like 6 episodes. Or no, I think they had like 2 seasons, like 12 episodes total.
Yeah, so you're probably...
The American Office was somehow much more successful.
Although I think the Shameless in Britain did have success. Sure. I just don't know what level. But,
right.
But anyway, that was a Showtime show, and I didn't have Showtime. So I watched it on Netflix, and I didn't pick it up till like the 5th or 6th season.
Right.
So when I first started watching it, I had like 5 seasons of it, and then I got caught up, and then I had to wait like a year in between seasons because they'd show the season on Showtime, and then it'd be when they get ready to do the next season on Showtime is when the previous season would show up on Netflix.
Right.
So I'd have to wait like a year in between, and But by the time I got to the end of it, I was almost like, man, if I just wish I had this all at once, I could have been over and done with it. Because it was like
Right.
Shameless is a good show, and I enjoyed it, but it's not worth waiting a year in between.
This is what I'm realizing
Not
is
that good.
that my chimpanzee brain does not like waiting a week between anything. Like I'll forget what I was waiting
Well, we've been
waiting for
groomed not
doing.
to now.
Yeah. Because like I've been binging Fake Doctors, Real Friends, the podcast. I'm now in the beginning of season 5 of the show Scrubs. There's 9 seasons, but there's only 8 seasons that count, which means I'm coming up on, and I think they're right now in season 7.
Okay.
So like they're currently doing new episodes in season 7, but I'm still way behind. So I could just go, one after the other. If I have to wait a week between shows, I'm just gonna forget.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna forget what I was doing.
That's really
I
my
can do
biggest
something else.
obstacle with Better Call Saul, why I have not got back into it, because and now I'm at the point where like, it's been so long since I've seen, do I need to start over and just refresh?
Go online and go to YouTube, and you can just type in Better Call Saul 1 through 4, season 1 through 4 recap.
Yeah.
You can usually get it in like 5 minutes.
Yeah, well, I need it because I'm like two seasons behind. I think I'm 2 seasons behind.
Yeah, I think you might be 2 or 3.
It might be 3.
Because they did 6, I think, total.
Yeah. So, Barbara Gomez, Main Street Roswell, going to join us here in just a bit. Before we do that, let's go ahead and get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. High pressure over the Four Corners area and also over southern New Mexico, and that'll be keeping things fair for us over the weekend. Pretty warm today, upper 60s and low 70s, and a little bit gusty, wind occasionally kicking up to about 30 miles an hour, but we should have sunshine. A few clouds in mid-30s for the overnight hours, and then Saturday and Sunday, low to mid-60s and sunny. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 45 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 48%. We're almost at the point where they're the same. They're going to change here because we're going to get warmer, and I think the humidity is going to go down. But right at this moment, they're right on par. Winds are calm at the moment. Sunny today, warm. We'll be near 70. They were saying 72 like the other day today, but 69 is what they're saying today officially. So near 70. Winds will be out of northwest 5 to 15. Partly cloudy tonight with an overnight low of 35 degrees. Northwest winds at around 10 miles per hour. Weekend looking pretty nice as well. Mostly sunny for you Saturday. 63 for a high tomorrow. Winds out of the northwest 5 to 10. Clear skies tomorrow night with an overnight low of 27, so a little chillier overnight Saturday night. Southwest winds at around 5 miles per hour. Sunny on Sunday, highs around 61 with winds out of the northwest 5 to 10. And then just glancing at your work week, looks like we'll be floating in the mid-60s for, I'm looking through Thursday, and it's 66 Monday, 65 on Tuesday, Wednesday 66 but breezy, and then 62 and sunny on Thursday. So I'm not going to lie, first 2 weeks of 2023, pretty nice weather-wise anyway here. Pretty mild temperatures, and kind of weird how we started right before Christmas with that tundric Arctic temperatures, and now it's like I could probably get away with shorts this afternoon maybe, you know? So, welcome to New Mexico. All right, it is 17 minutes after 9. We're going to take a quick 3-minute break, pay a few bills, and then Barbara Gomez with Main Street Roswell will join us on the other side. Do not go away.
Hey, did you know that January 15th is the last day to enroll for health insurance for coverage in 2023? And since health insurance is now literally more affordable than ever, low-cost or even no-cost health insurance for you and your family is more affordable than you've ever thought. Let the friendly and knowledgeable team at Be Well NM guide you through the process. Our services are absolutely free, but you have to enroll before the January 15th deadline for coverage in 2023. Visit BeWellNM.com today.
This is John.
Hey, my name is John Jackson.
He's not some actor. He's a steward of the land with a John Deere 3 Series tractor. John runs with us. Nothing runs like a Deere. Get a 3 Series tractor with 0% APR for 72 months at your John Deere dealer today. For additional cost information, please call toll-free 855-633-2316.
Stop by Pecos Valley Equipment in Artesia or Roswell, or visit us online at pecosvalleyequipment.com.
Happy holidays and a happy new year from the Plateau family to yours. Give your whole home the gift of ultimate connectivity in 2023. For a limited time, receive a free Visa gift card when you sign up for a True Fiber internet plan from Plateau. Up to $250 for new True Gig customers. With Plateau's True Fiber internet, get unbelievable speed for streaming, gaming, working from home, and so much more. And for a limited time, new customers get a free Visa gift card. Learn more and sign up now at plateautel.com. Offers valid only for new customers within Roswell Fiber connected zones until January 16th, 2023.
Let the countdown begin in 2022 on a high note at Big O's year-end sale. Head to Big O for our best deals on tires, brakes, oil changes, and more from December 12th through January 8th. And right now, get a $70 Visa reward card or Visa virtual account after online submission on a set of 4 new Michelin passenger or light truck tires. Plus, get an additional $70 prepaid MasterCard on installation purchase of sets of 4 Michelin passenger or light truck tires. No resolutions here, just giant deals to get your car ready for the new year. But hurry, you only have a few days left to save. Go big at Big O during our incredible year-end sale, December 12th through January 8th. Big O Tires, the team you trust. Installation charges extra. Required on all 4 tires. Not valid with other offers. Disposal fees and shop fees extra where permitted. Void where prohibited. See rebate form for terms and conditions. Additional retailer offer advertised within is independent from the manufacturer's offer.
2022 was a roller coaster year for your Roswell Coyotes and Goddard Rockets. And KSVPTV.com is your home for every second of the action throughout the 2022 season. Relive all the game-changing plays and the players that made it a season for the books. Simply click on the Roswell Coyotes or Goddard Rockets tab at KSVPTV.com and get ready to dive into a season of memories made and victories won. KSVPTV.com, your official home for all things Coyotes and Rockets and Southeastern New Mexico's Sports Authority.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Turtles can breathe through their butts. We imagine you know some people who do that too, because that's where their heads reside. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 21 minutes after 9 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning, Main Street Roswell Executive Director Barbara Gomez back with us. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you today?
I'm good. Happy New Year.
Happy 2023. It still looks beautiful downtown.
It does?
Good news. You guys will keep the tree lights up for another month or so here.
Yes, all the way up to February.
Yeah.
We'll leave the lights up. So a lot of people really enjoy those.
I love those.
They take a lot of pictures.
Yeah.
They love taking pictures with them. It becomes a really great place to do your wedding photos, or you want to make an get engaged. It's a great place to take senior pictures, kids pictures, couples pictures.
It is. It's a beautiful
place.
backdrop. Especially like a night like tonight. You're out there. The weather's going to be beautiful.
Perfect.
The lights are up.
Perfect.
Be a good night to walk around, visit some of the merchants here, do a little shopping, and then of course, grab dinner or whatever, and then take some pictures, and or just shoot. Get the courthouse lawn. If it's still pretty warm out, get a blanket, maybe picnic from one of the vendors, and sit out and just enjoy the evening and the atmosphere out there. There's lots of stuff that people doing things and hanging out and just kind of enjoying, especially since we got the nice weather. Might as well take advantage
for
of
a couple of days anywhere in the coming week, as you said.
We got a big courthouse lawn there with lots of grass and lots of park-like atmosphere. The weather's nice. That's a good place to spend your evening, I think.
Right. And so a big shout out and thank you to Wendy Marley. She is our community partner through Main Street Roswell, and she's the one that works with all the sponsors, gets us the money that we need to get those lights put up. A lot of people don't realize how much it costs to do something like that.
I would imagine, yes. Thank goodness technology has made lighting efficient, but it's still quite expensive to keep that many lights lit for 2 months.
And putting them up is a job and taking them down is a job.
Sure.
Maintaining them. So a big thank you to Wendy, and also a big thank you to Jesse McDaniel. It's his team that puts it out there, you guys. And if you would like those lights to be out there longer, talk to us. We would love to be able to keep them up. I mean, just as little as it's not as little, but as much as we've done so far for this holiday season, it costs around $20,000 to keep that Main Street lit. With sponsorships. And again, a big shout out to Excel Energy, because they help us out and provide a lot, if not all of the lights that we put up on the trees down Main Street.
It wouldn't happen without that support.
That's right. They would not.
Between Excel Energy and Jesse McDaniel and his team, you would not enjoy those lights downtown. No. And quite frankly, without Jesse McDaniel's team, I would say almost 50% of the lights you see in town, and I might be lowballing that number. Yeah. Jesse's had a hand in it.
Right. Was he part of that? What they did over at the Historical Society as well?
Jesse and his group helped us out there in the tree and did that. They went and busted their humps, helping us there and getting that all pretty and stuff. So they do that for a lot of folks around town.
I drove by the Historical Society and I thought that looked so perfect.
Yeah.
You know that it had to be Jesse McDaniel.
Yeah, it was a Jesse work of Jesse.
Work of Jesse. And another big shout out, to Devin Bullock. Just this week they took down the tree. The other day.
Oh, the beautiful tree. Yeah.
Unfortunately,
I love
in one of those really fun windy days. But she gets a crew together. She also raises all the money to put that tree up. So if you remember, it's like about a 17-foot brand new tree.
To me, if you take, I love we talk about the trees lining downtown. I love that. But the most solemn Christmas look to me in the Main Street quarter was that tree on the courthouse lawn. Something about the colors of the tree with the backing of the courthouse lawn. And everything. It's just, it was one of those photos that should be the cover of a Christmas card.
It is.
You know what I mean?
It should be.
And that's it. Of all the beautiful spots downtown, I think that tree by a nose takes the edge of the most beautiful spot in the Main Street corridor during the holidays.
Right. And, talking about the courthouse itself, Main Street, we sell Christmas ornaments. And as a matter of fact,
like
collector's items. I don't know if you've been to the post office recently, but I was there this morning, and they're selling these die-cut out ornaments of the White House. So we have one that's just as beautiful, if not more beautiful, of the county courthouse lawn. Whether it's antiqued or gold, they're beautiful. But just this morning, I was mailing one off to Pennsylvania, if you can believe that. Somebody emailed me and said, you know what, I would love to have one of those. Can you mail me one?
That's nice.
So we got that one sent off this morning to them.
Good deal. That's a very historical building, too. May not quite have the history the White House does, but
it's beautiful.
Yeah, and to be honest, that dome that you see that adorns it, it is a historical like landmark, and they have conservators that come and study that. And when when the county took on the big preservation project, that thing here over the last few years, that's a lot of work that goes into that. And so, yes, that is a treasure. That building.
Right? Do they do tours in there? Do you know?
I don't. I know.
I think I took a tour at one point. I don't know if it was Leadership Roswell or someone, but I don't remember.
Because they had the little museum in there with the jail and the old jail, all the documents. I know COVID kind of, but I'm thinking I bet you some of that stuff's back again. And things at the very minimum, you can walk around and look at the museum and stuff during the day. I know a lot of people go there because they got court cases. But if you're looking to do something and you don't have a case, I'd invite you to go see the inside of that and see the rotunda and go back and check out the little museum they've got there and just drink in the history. It's pretty
and you
nice.
Might even see pictures of people that you might know and say, "Wow, well, they were the first ones that did this or that." So also,
not the wanted posters like
not
the judges.
Those are in the post office, right? The different section. But a big shout out to the county as well, because they are really a partner to Main Street Roswell. We were able to use we use the courthouse lawn for everything.
Sure,
we use them for farmers market, for the chili cheese festivals, the UFO festival, and just about anything. And of course, this year we had our first Christmas market on that Saturday with the movie.
Another great success.
Yeah, another great success.
Even with the weather
Even with the weather.
Fighting you
it started raining like about maybe an hour before the movie. And so we're like going, is anybody going to show up?
So we should have just moved all that to this week.
Yeah,
it would have been
I know. Christmas in
People being tired of Christmas at this point, but the weather would be nice.
January, right? And talking about the new year, we had one of our stakeholders come up with a theme for this year, for this month.
All right.
And the theme is 23 is up to me.
Okay.
So basically, you make 23 what you want it to be.
Sure.
I mean, make it if you're a stakeholder or a business owner or something, and specifically on the Main Street corridor, think about what you'd like to see happening in your business this year. Would you like to see an upgrade in your facade in the front? Would you like to do interior work this year? Would you like to get education, maybe about the website, about Google, about advertising?
Sure.
What would you like to see happening? Would you like to host something at your business?
Absolutely. This is where entities like Main Street Roswell are something you should take fully advantage of. Especially if you're a small business in the Main Street corridor. Obviously larger businesses, they have teams and they have
a corporate or somebody that kind of feed them information.
But the average, Main Street downtown business
mom and pop
storefront is family owned, family operated, family run, and let's face it, not every person that starts a business, they may be an expert at the product, at what they're trying to sell, whether it's clothing or food or whatever. But they may not be the expert on how to market it, how to do the business side of things. Therefore, and let's face it,
and customer service, and how to sell it,
and how to do that it takes experience, it takes learning those skills and doing that, and that's why. That's quite expensive to do all that on your own. Oh, and by the way, do the rest of your business and sell the things and all that. That's why if you're a small business, especially a new business within a year or so, tap into every resource possible for Main Street Roswell, and do the same with the chamber and other business entities around the community that are helping. The EDC, same thing.
Right, the Hispano Chamber of Commerce. I mean,
if you're a business owner in this community, there should be three places, especially if you're in the Main Street corridor. Main Street Roswell for sure, the chamber and the EDC. These are three things that every business owner in this community should be well versed with,
right? And talking about 2023, and it's up to me, it's up to us as well as far as Main Street Roswell goes. I was just telling you, Mike, that we're starting a brand new year with a brand new board. Not everyone is brand new, but we do have a lot of new faces. A lot of new faces with a lot of new excitement. New direction.
Well, and that's the thing. We love people that serve for 100 years and devote because they're
the historical people. They know what's happened.
They're the reason why Main Street Roswell is still Main Street Roswell.
That's right.
But it's always nice when people come in with a new perspective or a new idea. Because let's face it, I don't care what anybody's doing. When you're doing the same thing over and over again for years, you get into patterns, you get into ruts. Probably
Right.
a darker word, but
Right,
kind
right.
of a rut sometimes.
Yeah.
It's very possible. And sometimes a new
Just a little bit of
perspective
energy,
or
a little
someone that's-
bit different, and like you said, a new perspective.
Next thing you know, it kind of rehashes and rekindles and kind of so it's
So
it's a
made
good
us,
thing.
Yeah, so it's made us all readjust. Of course, I've only been here 4 months now. So for me, it's all a learning experience.
Sure.
But for people that have been there longer, we've all kind of had to do kind of a readjust in our mind and say, okay, so what is our purpose? What is our vision? What should we be doing for the stakeholders
Sure.
on Main Street? I mean, every Main Street and every community should be vibrant.
Absolutely.
This should be a place for collecting of people, of events, of making money for the stakeholders on Main Street. So people walk in and go, wow, I've never seen this before. Of course, we've got a lot of UFO type things out there, but that's not all we have.
Absolutely.
We've got cookies, we've got food, we've got...
That's just it. We use the aliens as the foot in the door.
Yeah, that's
and then,
how we get them in.
Yeah, and then you come see all the other. You're like, oh, I didn't realize Roswell was this, rich with other things other than little green men and gray men. Depending on your...
Right. But there's a lot of times that people come to Roswell specifically on certain times of the year. And of course, the big times, of course, is July, because that's our big month.
UFO festival.
That's
tourism's
a UFO festival.
Busiest time of the year.
But then you have other times throughout the year. Thanksgiving, family members come in. People...
I saw a lot of tourists during the Christmas holiday. Yeah.
And the Thanksgiving, Christmas... And the other big one is spring break.
Yeah, a lot of people
and
come.
So we're revving up
vacations.
to figure out what we're going to do on Main Street to capture some of those people that are coming in for spring break.
Sure, and give them a reason to hang out in the Main Street corridor and visit all these great businesses we have there too. And here's the thing too, I would invite every single Main Street business owner to reach out to Barbara and the board and say, hey, because at the end of the day, they're looking for direction. They're like like you said, making the 23 what's right for you.
Yeah,
and I don't have the
23 is up to me.
Yeah, I don't have the catchy slogan there, but that concept is where it starts with that board and everything. So it's like we got some new faces of board, but the board, they have ideas and what things they want to do. But at the end of the day, they serve you, the Main Street businesses.
We do serve you.
So if you guys are wanting to see something from Main Street, first thing to do is talk to Barbara, talk to the board, get in on their next board meeting agenda and say, hey, this is something that me and multiple business owners would love to see come from Main Street. And they look at it and say, that's a great idea. Let's do that. Right. Or, we'd love to do that, but here's the hurdles we have to do that.
Yeah, because everything that happens, a number of times we've had people say, well, let's do something like next month, Barbara. It's something big, something exciting. Well, as you know, Mike,
it takes more than a month to plan something like that.
It takes more than a month to plan something like that. If you want to close down streets, you have to ask 120 days before any event.
A lot of red tape, yeah.
A lot of red tape to go through. And I know some of our...
As experience with your 5Ks and thing like that.
Yes, it's been a real experience.
Run into a few of those obstacles
Yeah, I have run into a few of them. So, I've had a few board members saying, hey, Barbara, let's do this. And I'm thinking we should do this quick. When do you want to have it? Maybe in a month. I don't have time.
Sure.
We have to plan. The city, we like to believe we're the only thing going on in town, but it's not. The city gets really busy.
And we are, and we do compete with each other in some way, shape, or forms. Let's face it. First Friday, it's a great Friday thing, but in the fall, you got Roswell or Goddard playing a game every Friday night in the World Bowl.
Right.
That's going to instantly take away a couple thousand people because it's a limited window and things like that. Some will work around it, maybe come a little early and have dinner, but for most people, they're focused on that. So there's those little competitions. So when you plan something, you gotta think, okay,
check out calendars, check out what else is going on.
Because at the end of the day, a lot of people try and do the same thing you are, and it's all yelling at the same batch of people to try to get them to do something.
Right. So, we had that challenge during Christmas. We had the parade on Friday. The first Friday in December.
Which was an awesome parade, by the way.
That was a pretty incredible parade.
Yeah.
I think we had 23 to 25 lighted floats.
Yeah.
We had so much excitement, and a big thank you to Rob Tynes, because he's really,
and our community
helped us out.
for getting creative and getting fun and having fun with it. Yeah.
And you know what? This kind of stuff draws attention. You guys don't realize how much attention Roswell draws, not only to us here. We're so used to seeing it that we don't realize that people somewhere else. So I just this week, and I've spoken to this lady probably now 3 times. She lives in California, and she used to design costumes for Disney.
Oh, wow.
And also floats. And so she's talking to me saying, Barbara, let's create this gigantic, wonderful float. And I'm going, whoa. So, I mean, a lot of people call us and want to be a part of us and want to know what we're doing. So don't get complacent and think, I'm so tired of this. We don't really do anything.
Yeah, it's easy to forget, but we're probably arguably the most famous small town in the planet.
Yes, I would agree with you. I would agree
definitely
with
in
you.
that conversation. You know, you could go to Germany, some small town in Germany, and ask them if they heard of Roswell, New Mexico, and you're probably gonna find someone that says, "Oh yeah, that's the alien thing." You'd be hanging out in Australia at some pub, and you mentioned Roswell, New Mexico. Someone's probably gonna know what you're talking about.
You know, just in May, I think it was, Xanthi and I had gone to a Main Street America training in Richmond, Virginia. So we wore our Roswell UFO polos and T-shirts out there. I kid you not. We got more people stopping us going, wait, are you guys from Roswell, New Mexico? The Roswell, New Mexico.
Yeah, it's like,
and we took a bunch of little Roswell pins with them, Alien Fest pins and, UFO pins, and we handed those out everywhere we went.
Yeah.
So
the part she didn't tell you is they all acted robotic, and people were trying to figure out if they were human or alien.
Right.
And they just played along. I'm just kidding.
I said, Xanthias, I'm not. I'm the real one. She's the robot one.
You're from Roswell? Yes, we are.
Yes, we are. I can't do that really well. Not like Todd. Isn't it Todd that does that?
Yeah, Todd's got
a really good one to do that. But here's the deal, guys. If you're a stakeholder or you're a business that's not even on the main drag of Roswell, keep track of what's happening. Because if you can see something that's coming down the road, let's say, for instance, the UFO Museum told me that they get sometimes 6,000 people during spring break.
Wow.
So why would you not want to take advantage of it and say, what can I capture when they're coming in?
And
what
every
can
one
I
of them,
capture when something else is going on?
As a Main Street business here on the radio station, when I'm around lunchtime or walking around up the streets during these times, I see hundreds of people walking up and down the sidewalks with their little UFO museum stickers, and they're just walking looking for the next thing to do, whether it's to hit one of the stores or find something to eat or look for some more entertainment.
Or farmhouse or something up and down the streets.
I see so many people looking for stuff around the Main Street district. So you would be a fool not to try to take advantage of that.
And that's kind of one of the things that I want to work on as we progress through this year. We, like I said, we have a new board. So coming up at the end of January, we'll be having our annual board meeting, our annual, retreat, I guess you can call it. So we can rethink about how we want to do these things.
And the plan of attack for 2023.
Plan of attack. But trust me, Main Street stakeholders, it's all about you. It really, truly is. Even though it says 23 is about me, for us, 23 is about you and how we're going to help your business. How we can help you maybe to fix up some of the inside of your building. Because the way I look at it, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. So basically, if we get the hordes of people in here or even a group of people in here, you need to be welcoming. You need to figure out what's the best way to do this customer service, or how can I set up a 20% off or something.
Well, and let's face it, too. When you have a downtown district that has, let's face it, buildings that have been here, some of them a century or more. You know what I mean? It's just these. You're going to have to upgrade. You're going to have to refurbish or replace. That's just the life doing business. So every one of our Main Street, especially some of these front stores here, there's very old buildings that these people are calling home for their businesses.
Right.
And it's very cool treasure-wise, but when it comes to things like safety and upgrading to standards and modernizing the buildings to handle
or historical requirements.
Yeah.
You don't want to knock down something that's of historical value. You have to find out.
If you got a 100-year-old building and you're trying to run a business out of it, but you want modern technology to work in it, it takes a little finagling to do all that. They weren't pre-wired up for internet back in 100 years ago.
100 years ago.
Or electricity in some cases for that matter, you know?
So you're going to see, you may be seeing a lot of me, a lot more than you have up to now.
So now's the time to kind of improve some of that stuff.
Yeah, so when I'm coming by to see you, it's not just a, hello, what's going on? You know, a lot of these buildings are leased out. So the owners do not live in Roswell. So if you want something done, it takes that background work to find out who owns this. Let me talk to the owners, see if they have interest.
They collect a check and that's all they care about. They don't see the needs on it, so you got to make them aware of it.
Right.
Yeah.
And so we're able to do that. We have access to grants where we can, and actually I'm going to a training really soon on fundraising and grant writing. So I'm really excited about that. And we may have a few new board members that are coming in with that experience already to help out.
That's very valuable experience to have.
There's lots of money that we could possibly get for our community, but we have to know your needs. So let's say, Mike, sometimes I'll get an email. It's the first time I've seen it, and they'll say, guess what? We opened up a grant, and this grant is really specific. It has to be this kind of building, and you need to use it for here, and it needs to be in this district. So for me to be able to plug you into that grant, I need to know your needs.
Gotcha.
So get with me. Let me know what's going on, so the next time something pops up, we can say, we know exactly who to put in that place.
Yeah.
We know exactly what to use for that money.
Absolutely.
So that's kind of one of the cool things that we're going to work on. And as you may or may not know, there is 4 points to what we're supposed to be doing in the Main Street District.
Your kind of pillars.
The pillars are we call them the 4 points.
Sure.
That's what we call them. But the number
think of
one
character counts. Yeah, they got their six.
Just kind of like
same kind of ideology.
Right. Yeah. It's kind of like that. But economic vitality is our number one thing. So if you aren't, you know what I'm saying, we need to figure out how to make it a vital place for you, for you're making money. One of the other things we do is promotion, and promotion includes a lot of things: promoting you, promoting your business, promoting our Main Street District through Facebook, through website, through radio, through the newspaper, through whatever means we
all
can.
All on the table there. Yeah.
Yep. And the other thing is design. So we do work on design. So we have specialists that can come down that are specialists like architects, people with historical backgrounds. So when they come down, they can say, you know what, you can do that, but let me tell you how it needs to be done so that we don't ruin the value of this building.
So you end up wasting money on something you thought was going to work. Unfortunately, you find out halfway through the project.
It's not going to work because you can't tear that down or do this or that with it. As a matter of fact, I have one of the specialists from Albuquerque coming next week to look at the Backdraft Barbecue again to figure out what we're going to do on that building. They did receive a grant, and so we need to figure out where's the the sign's going to go for that.
Sure.
The LED signs, the brightness.
It's a cool facility, and let's face it, it's because it's a street off the main street. People sometimes forget it's there. And so how do you remind people? And that's kind of what they're figuring out right now.
And so those are things that we can do. The last thing that we work on is organization, and that encompasses a lot of things: organizing trainings, organizing just even how to put together an event, education for your staff,
Absolutely.
IT type stuff. I mean, a lot of help that can be had through Main Street. And we are working really diligently with our city partners. I mean, because we cannot do a lot of things without the city.
Sure.
The city cannot do a lot of things without us.
Well, they both need each other to have success.
That's true.
And that's because they're so intermingled, because when you think of Roswell, the city of Roswell, what's first images you think of everything in our Main Street corridor. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sure.
And so, I mean, we have so many great assets that are outside of that corridor, but when you think of Roswell and when you put the postcard out to the world saying this is Roswell, it's Main Street you're seeing.
Right,
and that's and so for the city and everybody to succeed, we need a thriving Main Street. And for the Main Street to succeed, we need that city support to do that.
Right, and we need to move as a united front, because we are all working towards the same end to make Roswell better, to bring tourism to Roswell, to bring more money to our economy overall. And so I just want to tell you a couple of things that are coming up. So one of the things that's coming up, and it's not even an event for Main Street Roswell, but it's the UFO XPO that's coming up March 10th, 11th, and 12th.
Okay.
This is somebody coming in from outside putting together an event, but I've spoken to the guy that's organizing that, and he really, really would like to help to revitalize the Main Street as much as he can.
Okay.
So you'll be hearing from me stakeholders really, really quick. I'm meeting with him. I don't have a lot to give you today.
So, but is the idea of the expo more of the research and historical side of UFO
Actually, no.
stuff,
The expo. The expo. If you pull it up on the website, and you can as you're sitting here if you want to, but it's called UFO XPO. They're going to have a number of speakers here. They're going to have some film type stuff here as well.
But it's the education stuff, not foil hats and
it would be. I imagine that they are going to have a lot of different things.
But a lot of it's the deep dive into
that.
Showing evidence of what they're talking about.
Right. And like I said, the man I'm working with right now on this, which we started it last week, possibly talking about it, but it's coming up really, really fast. And so the plan is to hopefully have things going all the way from the convention center all the way to the museum and even past that.
Cool.
But to have a lot of things going on, meets and greets, possibly an event happening right on the courthouse lawn again.
Awesome.
And so we're really excited about that. But other things that we have going on coming up, somewhere around April or May, we're going to start the planting flowers.
Oh, yeah.
So if you guys know anything about flowers and you're saying, why don't you guys put these kind of flowers? I don't like the ones you did last time. Or maybe those are
they're always looking for volunteers on those planting weekends to go and actually do the physical planting and all that, too.
Right. I mean, that's part of the beautification of Main Street, but it's also the promotion. You like people to come downtown and go, wow, this is a really nice
it's people
downtown.
Investing back in their own community,
that's
basically. Right. It's the same kind of thing when you see like the utility boxes being painted by some of our
local artists.
Local artists and youth groups and things like that. This is the same thing with the gardening. It's kind of that same, but instead of paint, they're using flowers.
Yeah, that's right. And then, of course, coming up in spring is also our spring fundraiser, which will be our Christmas, our candy party. So you'll be hearing a lot more about that as it goes on. So there's all kinds of fun stuff, and we're already planning for the UFO Festival. We're already planning past the UFO Festival, looking at October. I can't tell you a little bit about that yet because
but more to come.
But there's a lot more to come. So just know that we are here to work for you. We're here to help you. And another thing I want to talk about a little bit is our bottle cap to benches program.
Okay, is that I know that kind of winded down.
Yeah.
Is it starting to pick back up again?
Well, let me tell you the interesting thing about the bottle caps to benches. We were working with a company that was called the Green Tree Plastics, ABC, something like that. And what happened was they decided they were going to go out of business. And they let everybody know that they were going out of business. We let everybody know, quick, we need all our bottle caps because they're going out of business.
Sure, get them in before they're gone.
Right. And lo and behold, as soon as we announced all that, somebody else bought them out.
Good.
Doing the exact same thing.
Somebody said there's a potential here. Let me tweak it to run it. Well, good.
Right.
So they've been saved.
So it's been saved.
Good.
So the Bottle Caps to Benches program is still out there. I mean, I've even had some of my stakeholders going, wait a second, I'm confused. I thought they were gone. So they're not.
They're back. So if you've been collecting, keep collecting.
If you have
your collection and you didn't quite get rid of it, then bring it on down because we're collecting.
Right.
Again.
Or call me or go by the Chamber of Commerce. They do have a container sitting right outside the door.
You can drop
them off there. You can drop them off at Southwest Print. You can call me and drop them off at my office here, on 3rd Street.
Yeah. Now, if you're just a quick background, if you're not familiar with this project.
Oh, yeah.
The first time it went around is basically people collecting your caps from like your drink bottles, even like the mayonnaise.
There's
a whole list of
caps
and things, and we'll tell you. But they take all of those caps, and if they collect, was it like 250 pounds or something? For every 250 pounds of those they collect, that's a bench.
Yep.
And so you turn in 250 pounds of plastics, you get a
recycled bench.
You get one of these benches. And here's the cool part about the benches. These are the benches like your park benches you see, except for they're more resistant to graffiti. They're more durable. They are pretty. They look. And so when someone graffitis, they can sand it real quick, and you would have never known it happened.
And fix it right up.
Yeah. So it does the job of a bench greener and better. And so it's a win-win. So people that are kind of like, well, green, this is actually an improvement upon the bench.
It is.
With this. This
Right.
is yes, it's a win because it's a recycled green thing. That's awesome. But it actually, in the evolution of park benches, this is a more evolved bench.
Sure. And you know what? You're talking about graffiti.
Yeah.
Just last week, that's the day after Christmas. Yeah, no, I'm sorry. It was the day after Christmas on that Monday. We were doing a dedication of the bench. And if you have not heard about dedications of the benches, I have a whole list of benches that are here in front of a lot of different businesses. So let's say one in front of Toro Bravo, one beside the Roswell Tire and Appliance, one beside the Alien Invasion place, one right in front of Benchmark or Diamond Cuts or Dr. McMahon's office or wherever. There's benches everywhere. Did you know that you can dedicate a bench to somebody that you would like to memorialize?
Sure. If you got someone you would like to honor, and that'd be a great, maybe you got a family member or a long time customer to business for even,
we have
whatever.
one for Dusty Huckabee. It's right on the courthouse lawn. We've dedicated one, of course, to Juliana Halverson. Why not? She has done so much for Main Street Roswell, and she's
Although she's
wonderful.
still with us, so thank goodness.
I know,
a lot of people think.
These aren't all people that have passed away. These are people that we just want to honor.
I always think of, when I think of things like this, I think of postmortemly. So don't be confused.
Don't be confused.
We see Juliana's on there. She's still with us and doing well.
Thank God for that. Thank God for Juliana. But if you would like to do that, start collecting bottle caps. Give me a call and let me know what you would like to do. We do put a little plaque on it. We can do a little ceremony for you if you'd like. The newspaper comes out, takes a few pictures.
Cool.
So we try to make it as nice as we possibly can. But talking about that graffiti, a big shout out to the city of Roswell and the 5 people that are dedicated to do nothing else except keep our main street clean.
Yep.
Did you know that?
They started this up several months ago.
Yeah, I think they did.
Yeah.
They did start it up. This was kind of an interesting, funny story. So I did a bench dedication, like I said, just one right before Christmas and one right after Christmas. So here comes the family. We're getting out there to go put a little plaque on it, getting it all ready, and kind of put a cover on it to do the big reveal. I get there and there's a man sitting there, so I ask him if he wouldn't mind moving so that we can put the little sign on. Do the ceremony, and he gets up, big old graffiti on it, and I'm like, oh my goodness, the family's coming. I mean, they had a lot of family and friends and people out there. So we worked it out where we were able to put family members sitting in front of the graffiti, so they took pictures. But you know what? I put it on that Fix-It form right away. I always call my community liaison, Kevin Mavers. Poor guy. He gets more phone calls from me than anybody else. But I'm like, Kevin, he's like, I can't get anybody out there right now, Barbara. So we'll get it fixed for you. And, just like that, because I actually graffitied 2 of them. 2 of my benches that were going to be dedicated were graffitied, but they took care of it. Like you said, I don't know if they have cleanser, if they scrape it down or whatever.
I think with those they can sand it real quick or something. I don't know the technology, but it's amazing. So
it is amazing. So a big thank you to them. And just one quick thing I want to talk about is I would like to talk about the loss of Daryl Davenport with White Mattress. That's one of our
That's a staple in Roswell.
long-standing staple of Roswell. Maybe he hasn't been on Main Street all the time because he was over on next to First Cafeteria.
Yeah, he was down.
Upon a time.
What was that shopping center called?
What was that called?
I'm going to remember later.
Yeah, after we're gone. I can't remember.
Where Sears
where Sears used to be. His office, White Mattress was there.
Broadmoor Shopping Center.
Yeah. And I believe he had a location on 2nd Street going to East 2nd, but then he finally moved in the old Ginsburg building.
Yeah, in downtown here.
But he will be missed.
Yeah, absolutely. Hopefully, I don't know. I haven't heard, but is family taking over the business? Or
I don't know yet. We're kind of trying to figure that thing out ourselves.
I know they're busy grieving and taking care of that, but I hope the family keeps that business.
Yes, our condolences to the family.
Because it's like one of the few places in town if you want to get a mattress for your RV. That's the place to get it.
And I don't know if you saw it or not, but we posted it on our Facebook, and you could not believe the number of people that had wonderful things to say about Daryl, his family, and their product.
Well, so people that were families that are part of the community a long time, they leave an impression on everybody.
That's right.
And that's
we
exactly
are family.
what that
we are
family
family
did.
in Roswell.
Yep,
So
absolutely. We're almost out of time here, but if you have any questions about anything we talked about here or want to learn more, You can go to mainstreetroswell.org is the website, and you can go there. And if you want to be a part of future events and things, there's forms to fill out to do all that. But if you have questions and want to contact Barbara or any of the board or anything, you'll find those links there.
And my number is on our website, but my number is 575-914-8017.
Very good.
Please feel free to call me.
Not at 2 in the morning, but
maybe not. I won't answer
during normal hours. But and of course, like and follow Main Street Roswell on Facebook. And what other social media?
Well,
you guys?
Of course, we do have always we do Instagram, and we do. I think that's just the Instagram.
And Facebook are the two big ones that you guys.
Yeah, the two big ones that we do. But
that way you can stay up to date and see cool pictures.
Sure, but if you're a stakeholder on the Main Street District and you are not on the stakeholders page, that's how we try to communicate with you the most.
Okay.
So if you want to know what's going on or you want to reach out to us, you can get on that. But
is that like a private group on there?
It is a private group.
Good
so
deal.
You have
but
to
apply and they'll let you in.
Yeah, we'll let you in.
As soon as you realize you're a downtown merchant.
Yeah, you're a downtown merchant. Come on in.
Yeah.
So we do funny, interesting things. We know we get requests from Timbuktu from really weird names out there, and it's like, no, you're really not in our district. You live in China, so that won't work.
We're known by everybody, and there's that's good, but there is a few downsides to that.
So we tell them to look at our Main Street regular page.
Yeah.
How's that?
And then I guess there's probably the occasional Georgian, Roswell, Georgia, they popped up, and you're like,
that's true.
Like, I would love to have you if you move your business to Roswell, New Mexico.
Yeah, and by the way, if you want to move to a business, we have a lot of open locations.
If you're looking for real estate in the Main Street corridor, come see Barbara.
We've got some great areas.
Point out some locations for you, depending on what you need, whether if it's like a doctor's office or a storefront, they got you both covered. So, good deal. Well, thank you, Barbara.
Well,
Happy
thank
New
you,
Year.
Mike. Happy New Year to you guys.
And we'll, if not sooner, we'll see you next month.
Yep, and I'll have more good information to give you. Okay.
Perfect. Sounds
All right,
good.
Thank you, guys.
Barbara.
Have a great day. Have
You
a
do
great
the
weekend.
same. Stay cool.
Oh, yeah.
I usually have to say warm this time of year, but this time, no, stay cool. Yeah. All right, 9:57. We're going to take a quick break before we get kicked off the radio. Don't go away.
Now your Pecos Valley News Update. I'm Jared Cirillo. The city of Carlsbad is welcoming new Fire Chief Ken Ahrens. Ahrens had been serving as Assistant Fire Chief since 2021. He was first hired by the department in 2010 and later was promoted to the positions of Staff Development Officer and Fire Marshal. Ahrens replaces former Fire Chief Rick Lopez, who retired at the end of 22. Carlsbad also has a new administrative assistant in the mayor's office in Wanda Aguilar, who replaces Cheyenne Mathola. Aguilar has previously been the assistant director of the Riverwalk Recreation Center. A Border Patrol agent wearing body armor was struck by gunfire but avoided serious injury Thursday while confronting the occupants of a vehicle suspected of migrant smuggling in New Mexico. 6 people were taken into custody after the vehicle later crashed, according to U.S. Customs and Border Protection. The agency added that the agent was shot in the chest multiple times and was released after a medical exam. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo.
This is the owner of Trustmark Roofing, and nothing makes us happier than telling our customers no. As in, no pricing games. We give you a guaranteed price, and then we stand by it. No surprises, no gotchas. No obscurity. We don't just tell you what's wrong with your roof. We record our inspections and show you. No lemons. We install premium roofing materials from top brands like Owens Corning. No shortcuts. We're in the 2% of roofers with the Owens Corning Preferred Contractor Certificate for our local area. This means we offer precision installation and the longest warranties. Want a beautiful new roof that's built to last? Choose Trustmark Roofing, the roofer that loves to tell our customers no. For an estimate, call us at 575-755-ROOF or find us online at trustmarkroofpros.com.
Trustmark Roofing, we put people first.
If you need a Kubota that works and plays hard, stop looking. You'll find everything you need at Amigo Machinery. When it comes to tough Kubota tractors, mowers, construction equipment, and utility vehicles, all with low-rate financing, Amigo Machinery is your one-stop shop. We are passionately committed to providing our customers with the highest quality products, most innovative solutions, and services delivered with integrity and professionalism. Stop by Amigo Machinery in Roswell or see us online at amigo-machinery.com.
Talk Radio has landed on the all-new 106.5 FM, KEND
in the
Roswell.
hunt for a new Speaker of the House. Correspondent Bernie Bennett has this update from Capitol Hill.
As the House returns to business this hour to determine who will become the new Speaker, Nebraska Republican Congressman Don Baker says he expects the potential deal being discussed to win over perhaps 10 of the 20 McCarthy opponents. Republican leader McCarthy, however, will need to win over more than that to reach the 218 votes he needs. Bacon says he's concerned by concessions McCarthy may need to make to more conservative members, but he's, quote, more excited that we're going to get it. Looks like half of the folks over, and that's a great number. The House reconvenes to elect the Speaker before moving on to other House business. Bernie Bennett, Capitol Hill.
Also at townhall.com, investigators have been gathering evidence against the suspect in the slayings of 4 University of Idaho